Beautiful Sunday, so early. Great, great, great. So, how's your previous sessions from like last 2 days you have taken? I have taken on Monday and on I've taken on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday you have a sessions. So, how's your session are going? It's good. You're enjoying your sessions, I hope. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, great, great. So today we will be talking about the network security. Can anybody tell what has been covered till now in network security? Anyone can tell me what is being covered till now so that I can have a brief idea about the content you have already known. Anybody can speak, no? Please. Am I audible or not?
Good morning, Prashant ji. I think we've spoken little bit about IPS, IDS,
Okay,
and I think access list,
okay,
VLAN, but not in
okay,
detail, I feel.
okay, okay. So
Sir,
what I'm
and on
going to,
Friday's class,
yeah, please. Yeah,
sir, during Friday's class, this IT architecture was also discussed, like TCP, TCP/IP, LAN, physical layer security, Wi-Fi, internet, and
hmm,
the types of firewalls. Zoning also was a bit discussed.
okay,
Hmm.
okay,
That's
okay.
it,
Sir,
sir.
So
And
but the problem is discussion is not in deep. Actually,
no issues,
these
no
things
issues.
these
Actually,
things we
this
all
is
know, but
you can
in
take
depth
it as a
analysis
like
is not.
you can take it as a methodology because in this class, I don't think that everyone is on the same page. है ना? So to make you people on the same page, the organizers has designed the syllabus in such a way so that after completing the whole 120-hour session, you will be on the same page. So the trainers, everyone is working on such a way so that your basics get very clear. Because in a single lecture, if things start from basic to very advanced, then it's very hard for everyone to grasp. Okay, so
correct.
है ना? So try to mingle up with the structure. And I am assuring you that you are lucky to have such a great platform of CBIP. And definitely at the end of the session, we will talk and we will find that you are on a very, very, very good pace. Okay. So that's not an issue. So rest assured about it. Okay. So we will be talking about network security. Again, I will be talking something you already know, but to conclude my today's discussion, I need to prelude that topics also so that I can have a better overview to you people. Okay, so today we will be talking about familiarization with network security devices. Probably you people are thinking that you have already discussed about firewall, IPS, IDS, but today we are going a little bit deeper into it. Today we will be talking about host-based firewall, network-based firewall, and I have especially deployed a firewall at my home today, and I will be showing to you a live demo of my in-house firewall about the zoning, about the creating the rules and all. So, and after that, we will be talking about IPS and IDS. Then we have a very good IPS. IDS is not. I think some people are knowing about it. So we are going to configure it and we are going to create some rules in that snot. And after that, we will be talking about encryption. And in encryption, we will be talking about symmetric, asymmetric encryption. Then we will be creating the GPG keys by installing the GNU GPG software and then uploading it to the PKI public key infrastructure. So this is the target that I have taken down. Uh, I think the class is of 3 hours, no? 10 to 1 as per your schedule.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, if I take half an hour more because there is a lot of things I need to cover. Okay. Okay. So this is about today overview. And let us start this class with a simple logic of what is a network traffic. Because until unless we do not have a clear understanding of a network traffic, we cannot think of a scenario to protect it. Okay, so what is a network traffic? How a typical network communication established? Okay, so just think of a scenario where this is a person, this is a kid actually, and he is trying to communicate with some server. Okay, any server, maybe it is a google.com or something. To establish this communication, he need to send a data packet, and for sending the data packet he need to have a IP address and a port address. Okay, so to send a data packet he need to pick a ephemeral port or a temporary port between the ports 1024 and 65535. Why I have put down especially this port number in front of you? Because the total number of ports in a system are 02655535 and 021023 ports are reserved ports. Okay, so whenever a communication established, the target ports are from the 021023 if they are not specified. Okay, so a client pick up a ephemeral port, and also a client initiated a communication to server on a well-known destination port. Probably it is HTTPS on TCP protocol on port 443. Okay, so this is a communication which we are going to discuss. So every communication is basically having two parts. One is a request, the one who is initiation. Yeah, anybody saying? Okay, so every communication, every connection is having two parts. One is a request part and other one is a response part. Without response and request, one cannot establish a communication, because when you have seen the TCP/IP, the client is sending a SYN request and the server is sending a SYN-ACK request, and for confirming the communication, the client is again sending the ACK request. So this is a typical communication in the TCP/IP. Okay, so this communication is having two part request. The first is a request and second is a response. Okay, why I am telling you, you will going to let it know after a few moments. So once a server received a request to communicate, it will again reply back to the client that, sir, I have received a request, and it is basically we have seen that this is a request that is done by the person, and this is the response that is given by the server. Okay, now the client has received the required material he used to have. Okay, so this is a very simple communication where one person is talking to the other server and server is returning back. So what is going to important in this part is request and response. So just keep in mind till now that for every communication, a request and response is very much required. Okay, now think of a
Sorry
network
to
protective. Yeah, please.
sorry to interrupt. Can you repeat again on the port numbers? What you told, temporary port between 102426.
Yeah. Actually, there are total ports between 0 to 65535. 60,535 are total number of ports. Okay, and 0 to 1023 are reserved ports. Reserved ports, which includes your TCP port, your HTTP that is 80, your HTTPS that is 443. Okay, your FTP port, your telnet port. So these are the reserved ports between 0 to 1023, and above from 1024 to 65535 are ephemeral ports, or you can say temporary ports. Your system can pick any port to communicate with the other server. Okay, so if Mr. A is sending a request to Mr. B, so he will be using port 1024 to 65535. When you see the IP, when you see the TCP IP packet, and in the layer 4, you will see the ports. In the OSI model layer 3, you will see the ports. You will see the port of the sender is this, and the receiver port is usually from 0 to 1023, because you are trying to connect to some well-known destination. Because if you are trying to do FTP, you have a dedicated port. If you are trying to do telnet, and you have a dedicated port. Okay, so is it clear, sir?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So just focus on that. For every communication, you need a request and a response. Okay, so now I'm talking about a typical client and servant communication. let this child sit again, and this is our server on which we are working in the last slide. Okay, so we have seen each communication is requiring a request and a response. So let us take it this client as an IP address. This client IP address is 210.212.3.45 and the server address is 103.23.4.56. I have just taken randomized value. Now, when the client is sending some packet to the server, then you can see then there is a source IP and there is a source port. So in this case, the source IP is the IP of the user and the port, any ephemeral port that the system will decide. And this decision is depending upon the operating system, that how it is deciding the ports. Also, it will be requiring a destination IP and a destination port. So in this case, we are sending a HTTPS packet over a TCP, and the destination port is 103.23.4.56. Now the connection is established. A signal or a packet is being sent from the client to server. Okay, this packet is being transferred from client to server. And in the response, you can see now there are two types of communication is established, where request is outbound from the client perspective. What I'm going to focus in this thing is now that for this person, this is a client. So he need a outbound connection, outbound rule, I would say. This person need an outbound rule to send this packet from this place to this. Okay. And on the server side, he need an inbound rule to receive this packet into his network. Is it fine? Is the thing I'm telling you is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this client need an outbound rule and this server need an inbound rule. So you can see for a single communication, this is a single communication where one packet is sent from this source IP to destination IP, from this port to this port. So two rules are required: outbound on the client side and inbound from the server side. Now, when the server respond to the request, now this server will having which type of rule to send this packet? Outbound. Okay. And now this client will be requiring which rule? Which rule? Inbound or outbound?
Outbound.
Inbound, because
Inbound for client.
because packet is coming into his network. So whenever a packet coming into your network, you will be need to configure an inbound rule. And whenever you are exiting a packet, you need to do a outbound rule. Okay. So this slide, these two slides, I have specifically designed to make you people understand what are the inbound and outbound rules. Because for a single communication, two type of rules are required. Just keep it in mind. For a single communication, two types of rule are required. One is a outbound and one is a inbound. Okay. Where it will be using, just hold on. When we will be talking about type of firewall, then this logic will come into picture. Okay. Any issues into this?
सर इसमें क्वेश्चन है, जैसे कि हमारा डेस्टिनेशन पोर्ट 443 है, मतलब टीसीपी आईपी पे कम्युनिकेशन हो रहा है, तो अगर जब सोर्स के पास मतलब क्लाइंट के पास भी अगर वो पोर्ट है, तो वो पोर्ट वो यूज क्यों नहीं कर रहा, रैंडम पोर्ट क्यों यूज हो रहा?
सर रैंडम पोर्ट इसलिए यूज होता है बिकॉज जो क्लाइंट कम्युनिकेशन होता है ना, क्लाइंट साइड से जब भी कम्युनिकेशन एस्टेब्लिश होता है तो वो हमेशा एफिमेरल पोर्ट से होता है, वो कभी भी उन रिक्वेस्ट पोर्ट से नहीं होता। अगर हम एफटीपी कर रहे हैं, सपोज कीजिए हम एफटीपी कर रहे हैं, तो सेम पोर्ट पे कम्युनिकेशन होएगा। ठीक है, जनरली ये इसलिए भी करा जाता है टू मेंटेन द इंटीग्रिटी एंड सिक्योरिटी, बिकॉज आपके एंड से जो डेटा जा रहा है वो कहीं इको आ रहा है, कहीं देयर इज समवेयर इको। ओके, तो जो क्लाइंट एंड से डेटा जाता है वो हमेशा एफिमेरल पोर्ट यूज करता है और टारगेट में वो 443 पोर्ट रखता है, और जब रिप्लाई आएगा तो वो सामने से भी 443 से आएगा और आपके इसी पोर्ट पे आएगा। हो सकता है कई बार ये पोर्ट नंबर चेंज भी हो जाता है रिप्लाई में। अपन जब वायर शार्क पे एनालिसिस करेंगे तब आप इस चीज को प्रैक्टिकली देखोगे कि किस तरीके से HTTPS का ट्रैफिक जाता है। सपोज कीजिए अपन कोई अनएनक्रिप्टेड लेके जा रहे हैं HTTP पोर्ट 80 पे, तो किस तरीके से ट्रैफिक जाता है वो अपन अभी आज जब फायरवॉल करेंगे ना उसमें आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा। और
Prashant ji, I think you are saying that we have to do porting basically. So जो actual port होता है 443 which is there at the back end, but front end जो internet पे traffic जाएगा वो कोई और port पे जाएगा.
जी
So
जी
that
वो एफएमएल
we
पोर्ट से
can
जाएगा ना, फॉर मेंटेन द इंटीग्रिटी एंड
maintain this
सिक्योरिटी। जी जी
security. Sure,
जी
sure. Thanks.
ठीक है। तो ये लॉजिक मैंने आपको जो बताया है अबाउट द इनबाउंड और आउटबाउंड, जस्ट keep it with you for the next 15 or 20 minutes. When we will be talking about type of firewall, then this topic will again come down to discuss many things. Okay, now see this.
सर
बताइए।
सॉरी टू इंटरव्यू, एक और टर्म सुना है मैंने, इग्रेस। तो इग्रेस जो है वो इनबाउंड आउटबाउड के रिलेटेड है कि वो
हाँ, एक्चुअली ना मैं बताऊं आपको, इनग्रेस जो वर्ड है ना वो यूज आता है सर राउटर के रेफरेंस में।
Sorry to interrupt. Can I speak in English?
Yeah. Sorry. Actually, the question is in Hindi, so I have started in Hindi. No issue. So ingress and outgress. Actually, the ingress and egress. Actually, these are two words, and it is usually come about the router. When we are talking about router, so when we will be talking on router, actually there are two issues. When the router has a control plane, okay, control plane, and it has a data plane. There are two different type of planes when we're talking about router. Since this class is not about router, but definitely in future I will be talking deeper into the router, what are the control plane, data plane. So whenever a request came, it came to the data control plane. Control plane transfer the data request to data plane. Data plane again processes and delivered to control plane, and control plane then again transferred to further. Okay, so this is the ingress and this is the outgress. Egress, I think so. Is it fine?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Ingress and egress, है ना? I will also write spelling.
How the client
Yes, please.
decides what to use for sending the data?
Yeah, I've just
How the client decides which to use?
Which? Ma'am, your voice is not
How
very
the
good. Hello.
client decides which port to use for sending the data?
Yeah.
How the client decides?
Okay. If you are trying to opening a website, okay, if you are trying to opening a website and the port for HTTP is 80 and HTTPS 443. Okay, just keep it this there. For HTTP use 40 and for HTTPS we use 443. Now, if the website is encrypted, okay, if the website is using an encryption, it will be traveling through the HTTPS port on the port 443. So the client is knowing when it is sending the DNS query, it will be getting a response that the opposite website is using which protocol, 80 or 440. In the same case, when you are using telnet, okay, when you are using telnet, and in that telnet you need to talk on which port? Can anybody tell which is the telnet port?
23.
Yeah, 23. So telnet port is 23. So to initiate a communication, you need to start a communication from 23, and then again on the client end you need to have a 23 port. So basically, computer will decide at its own that what type of services you are using, and you do not know the exact port number. If you are not a like as a layman, you are just using the services. For using the services, you do not need to remember the port, but the computer know, the system know that for sending a particular packet, which port is going to use, because on the same port the communication will establish. Is it fine?
Yes, sir. One more thing. How will I
Yeah.
decide I have to send the data from 5430 as in the example you shown?
No, you are not going to decide it. You are not going to decide it. The system will automatically decide.
So it can fetch randomly any value.
Yeah,
any
it
port.
is. It is randomly fetching from. I have told from this from 1024 to 65535.
So this is Anil here. I have a question. When we access a Gmail, then it
Yeah.
will start a communication from a email port, SMTP port or POP port, or it will be through HTTP port.
Sir, if you are using a Outlook client, okay, if you are using an Outlook client, then for sending it is using SMTP port, and for receiving it is your decision that you have configured a POP3 or IMAP configuration. Okay. And if you are using a web-based Gmail browser, then you are transferring the request through the 443 HTTPS.
So more or less, it will be decided on the which applications we are using.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It is
On the
standard.
basis of application. Because if you are using in a Microsoft Outlook or Mozilla that Thunderbird, so that clients are using a different port for communication because they have a different protocol. They are not using the HTTP or HTTPS. They are using SMTP. They are using that IMAP POP3. So this is a difference between the type of communication. Although the data is coming the same, you are downloading the same mail, but the model of approach is different in both the cases. Is it fine, sir? I think I have able to solve your issue, query.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So shall we
I
move
have one
forward?
clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one clarification. So this outbound rule you have mentioned as SRCP IP 210.212.3.45.
Yes.
This, what is this? How does it? What is the significance of this? How do we decide this one? Because port you said automatically it is getting assigned.
Because this is a system IP. This is a system IP, and probably your ISP has given this, or your network admin has given this.
Okay, this is manually assigned. It's not automatically assigned by any.
It depends. If you have a DSCP configuration, then it is automatically assigned. And if you have a static IP configuration, then it is going to manually decide.
Generally, what does it indicate? This each character, any you can explain to us 210.12.3.45.
This IP address.
IP address. Okay.
Yeah, IP. This is an IP address. Actually, this is an IP address, and this is a specifically, if I say, this is a IPv4 IP address, and these they are 4 octets, and for each IP address, it is a 2-part. One is a network part, and other one is a host part. Okay. So it is a long time. It is a very long discussion if I talk about IP, because then we need to talk about subnetting and a lot of these things need to be covered. So, but you can take it as if this is a simple IP address that is going to be provided by the ISP.
Fine. Okay.
Any more queries?
Yeah. This IP is fixed. Like till if it is a dynamic IP, if till I disconnect from the network, it will be the same number. It will not get changed.
No,
right.
If it is a DSCP, if it is a IP that is provided by a DSCP server, then every time you like if I talk about your mobile, okay, your mobile it is also using an IPv4 or maybe IPv6 to communicate with the outer world. Now think of a scenario whenever you switch off your mobile and switch on, then a new IP address is assigned to your mobile. Okay. So basically, every time your mobile is getting an IP, but the server, the DSCP server of Jio or Airtel of any company is assigning a different IP each and every time you are having on your mobile.
Okay.
And usually the servers, if I say usually the servers are having a static IP. Okay.
So static IP. Okay. That's my point.
Because to resolve the DNS queries, they need to have a static IP.
Okay.
Even clients can also have a static IP, but they are chargeable actually. Static IPs are chargeable. If you go to some ISP and ask for a static IP, they can charge you even 20,000 for a year. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's move ahead. So this is a sample network traffic. Okay. And we will be talking about how we going to capture the network traffic and all. But when you see this network traffic, there are basically 2 types of traffics which is going into your network. One is in the encrypted form and one is in the unencrypted form. Okay, so if I talk of a simple HTTP and HTTPS, initially we have a HTTP protocol on port 80 to communicate over the internet. Okay, but the problem in the HTTP is that it is unencrypted. If you are transferring, just hold for a moment. आज जिस कार्ड होगा ना, है नहीं तुम्हारे पास? करो. Just I would just take 2 minutes. Okay?
So your voice is not audible.
Yeah, actually I'm not speaking right now. I actually just got an urgent call from. Actually, my son got an eye flu, so he is a doctor. That's why. Just a moment. Actually, I'm just sending my medical card to him. Yeah, sorry to keep people. Yes, what
Hello.
someone is.
Sir,
Yeah, sir, please.
sorry, sir. Sir, can you go to previous slide?
This one.
Yeah, sir. You mentioned inbound rule and outbound rule. Do you have any list for that? What are the inbound rules? What are the outbound rules?
Okay, so you need to know about some example.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, just a moment. So if I talk that let us take a non-IT example, because I love these non-IT examples. Okay, so you have a neighbor with you. Okay, so let us suppose your name is Mr. A and your neighbor name is Mr. B. Okay, so now you ask your child to talk only to a son of neighbor B. Okay, so this is an outbound rule. You are telling your child that you need to talk only to the son of the neighbor B, not his daughter, not his daughter. Okay, so this is a outbound rule. In this case, you are allowing your child to talk to someone, but you are disallowing your child to talk to someone. Okay, so this is an outbound rule. And let us suppose on your neighbor side, I think I am getting echo from somewhere. Okay, so again from your neighbor side, if your neighbor is saying that do not talk to the children of Mr. A. So even if you trying to talk with them, they are not talking with you. Okay, so from your side you have an inbound rule, and from their side they have a separate inbound rule. You have outbound, they have an inbound. But to have a proper communication between both of you, you need to take care that a proper rules are to be set off, so that if you are sending a packet, he will be receiving that packet. You understand now, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you. But how that is ARM data? How we have to block between these rules?
Yeah. Today I have already said I have a specific firewall for you. I have deployed at my home, and today we will be talking on that. So rest assured, that's not an issue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Sir. Yeah, please.
Sir, can you please explain what is DNS and what is ISP?
Okay, DNS and ISP. I think these topics are not covered in your last lecture.
No, sir.
Okay,
We are not.
In the first lecture, it was told what is ISP.
Yeah, I have told now what is ISP. I think I have told.
Internet service provider is the ISP. DNS is domain name server.
Okay, DNS. Okay, let's talk about DNS. Can anybody tell in class what is DNS?
Domain name server.
Domain name server.
Mapping
Okay.
mapping of IP address to the
Name
well-known
to
names.
IP address.
It's like a telephone yellow pages, sir.
Yeah, it is a yellow pages. Yes, perfect, perfect. And how exactly it works?
Mapping is
basically,
it
maps
host
domain
IP to IP address and vice versa.
ICNN.
Host name to IP and vice versa.
I think it is query based system where we raise the inquiry, you get the sorted path, I think.
Okay. Anyone else?
domain name help us to resolve from host name to IP address and IP address to host name. So these are very unique, like globally accessed. I mean, if I keep one DNS name, cannot be changed by, or same name cannot be kept by any other people. So it's a unique name.
Perfect, perfect. Anybody
It
else?
is if we find some analogy between telephone connection, landline connection. So IP address is like telephone number and subscriber's name is like domain name server.
Perfect, 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 sir.
So we have 13 root DNS root servers in the world. So they are managing the
DNS services. DNS services.
DNS services. So the
Okay,
caching.
okay, so let me explain in just a few minutes what is exactly a DNS server. Okay, I think most of the people have already know, but because definitely someone has asked, so I need to resolve his query also. So what is a DNS server? Let me give you an example. This is a 103.122.36.1. Okay, so this is an IP. Okay, this is an IP of a website. Okay, this is an IP of a website of your organization. Okay, organization ERP, particularly ERP, where you apply CL or your medical leaves or privilege leave. Okay, so if your network admin is tell you that this is your IP to apply for your CL, PL and each and everything, then it's very hard for you to remember this IP address because it is a 4 octets and it is a lot of numbers. So there is a chance that you may forget this number. So what the technology has done, they have created a DNS technology, domain name server. Okay. Domain name server. Okay, so whenever you type in your browser that www.google.com. Okay, let us suppose take a example of google.com. Whenever you type this word www.google.com, at that moment of time your computer is not knowing anything about www.google.com. He do not know anything about google.com. What he will do, he will directly go to the DNS server. It will send a request, that is we called it as a DNS query. Okay, we send a DNS query to the DNS server and it will ask him that who is google.com. He will ask literally when we see in Wireshark, he will ask who is google.com to this DNS server, and this DNS server will provide an IP address to your system that google.com has hosted its services on this particular public IP. Okay, on this particular public IP. So okay, so this is exactly a DNS. Actually, DNS servers are maintaining tables in their records where domain is mapped with the IP, as somebody has correctly said that dictionary, that telephone directory and all. So it is type of directory where this IP 103.122 is written as google.com. Okay, so every time you need to go to the DNS server to resolve your query. Actually, this process is called resolve of query. Okay, now a question is coming into your mind that how your computer know that which DNS server is going to be reached. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Anna, there is a question. So the solution is when you are configuring your system. Okay, let me tell you. When you are configuring your system, your system, you usually use this type of settings. Okay, obtain IP address automatically in case the IP is not provided, and you also use this one, obtain DNS server address automatically. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what the thing is, when you do this automatically, the DSCP server who is providing you the IP, it is also providing you a DNS server IP also. Okay, and in case you want to put it of your own, you can use 8.8.8.8. It is a Google DNS services. Okay, so you can use this 8.8.8 DNS services. So every time your packet will be transferred to this server. This is a DNS server 8.8.8. Okay, understood?
Yes,
now
sir.
is it clear to everyone? Who has asked this question about DNS?
Yes, sir. Me, Pallav.
Yeah, Pallavji, is it clear at your end?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So we have seen that there are two types of network traffic. One is encrypted and one is unencrypted. Now, defining network security. Network security devices are typically physical or virtualized hardware appliances with vendor-specific software installed. Network security consists of the policies, processes, and practices adopted to prevent, detect, and monitor unauthorized access, modification, denial of service network accessible resources, and misuse of the network. So this is our motive when we're talking about the network security. Okay. Can somebody tell using the DNS query which type of attack is happening these days?
DDoS attack.
Not actually
Man
not.
in the middle.
Yeah, man in the middle attack. Perfect. What's your good name, sir?
Santosh Bulmule.
Yeah, Mulmule sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, perfect, sir. So using the DNS attack, these man in the middle attacks are happening so much. And when we will be talking about different type of attacks, we will be talking on this about the MITM attack, about the DDoS attack, the DOS attack. So just hold for the while. There are a lot of things to come, and we are trying to build a very good base for all you people. So let us concentrate on this thing now. What are the different devices used for the network security? I think everybody is knowing about the firewall. Everybody is knowing about the IPS, IDS, and UTM. Yes or no? You can use your chat box to type yes or no, because I have a habit to ask a lot of questions from the participants. So you can just write yes or no, not an issue. Yes. So can anybody tell what is the difference between IPS and IDS first?
IPS is preventing and IDS is detecting, and then only it can prevent.
Okay. And
Protection
what is a firewall? And what is a firewall?
A set of rules which match with the
allow, disallow.
Allow, disallow. Perfect. We need to drill down more deeper into this. Okay, so I think you have talked about the zones in the previous class. Zones are covered or not?
What is UTM? Sir?
DMZ as demilitarized zone.
UTM, ma'am, is a unified threat management. We will be coming on this.
Yeah,
I
we
am
have covered about zones. It is trusted zone and DMZ zone, like that.
Okay, unified threat management. Okay, this is a type of device only. We will be talking about each and everything. Just rest assured. Okay, so I think zone is covered, na?
Demilitarized, militarized, local area, wide area.
Wide area. Okay, so everybody is knowing the meaning of DMZ, MZ, LAN, WAN. Okay, let me give you a small scenario to make you people crystal clear concept about the zoning. Okay, because if you not able to understand the zoning, then you are not able to configure a firewall. And I think these lecture series are to make you people aware and to make you people as an expert to configure a firewall, to understand what is the firewall rule is in your organization. Firewall is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because
Sir,
What
I
is
will request you
sir,
please
more question, sir.
means more explain on the LAN and WAN part, because zoning was explained, but in terms of operation aspect.
yeah, I'm going to talk on a practical
Yes.
scenario. I will create a practical scenario for you. Then we will talk that what zone are this. Okay, so let me start with it. Okay, so
Sir,
let
one
us
question is
think.
there.
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah,
what is the
please.
difference between DMZ suite and firewall?
Just hold for a moment. After this, you will getting your answers self-explanatory clear after this example. Okay. Otherwise,
sir.
I will take your question, not an issue. Okay. Okay, so just concentrate on this. Let us suppose that this is a input internet connectivity from our ISP, probably BSNL or something. Now the connectivity coming to your router, and from router you have put down a firewall. Okay, you have put down a firewall, and on this firewall, after this firewall, you have installed a switch. Usually we called it as a core switch. Okay, from this core switch, now what happened? This core switch is having lot of VLANs. I think VLANs is already covered. For separate VLANs, a separate switch is being installed. Let us take the switch 1, and this is switch 2. Okay, and this is a switch 3. Okay, so what you have done now, this is basically a data center environment. I am talking about the data center environment. On this switch 1, you have installed your application servers. Application servers means your SAP servers or probably your ERP servers. Okay, application. On this switch 2, what you have deployed? You have deployed your DB servers. Okay, database servers, or some you can say uh, that syslog server are there. Okay, and on the switch 3, you have connected your workstations. Okay, now on switch 3, you connected your workstation. Now let us suppose this is a person B, and he want to access this application server. You want to access this application server. So what would be the way? He will be going to the internet cloud, and this internet cloud will make him connect to this ISP broadband, and then he is landing to the router, from router to firewall to core switch, and this core switch will decide that, let us suppose the application server IP is 103.2.2.1, and he has written here 103.2.2.1. Okay, so in this case, he want to access this resource. Mr. B want to access this resource, and this resource is available in this data center under the switch 1. Okay, so this is the probable way of traveling to the application server. Okay, now think of a scenario. This application server is hosting a website, a website where it is asking for a username and password with a submit button. Okay, mostly websites nowadays are using this type of functionality, login password. So for login password, can anybody tell now the application server will move to which server to go to verify the login ID password? DB server.
Log server.
This DB server, okay, DB server, database server, because SQL is in this and all the user ID password is stored in SQL. Okay, usually it can be done through other technology also, but this is a like common technology using SQL. Okay, so now this application server will again go to switch 1. Then this is the root. Yes or no?
Yes.
You can
Yes.
use pointer when
Yes,
you
sir.
use it. No. Can you please use pointer, sir? Yeah.
Yeah, I can use it. So for to communicate, so and sorry for my drawing, it's very bad actually. So for to communicate from application server to data server, he need to again back to the this core switch and to this. Okay, so now I have a question from you people. Which type of access Mr. B need to have to the application server or to the DB server? He need to access only the application server. On the app, only the application server, and DB server is only accessible through the application server. Okay.
Vice versa.
Then the
yeah, vice versa, definitely. But Mr. B, the IP, the public IP need not to talk to the DB server. Is it yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So now I am going to draw the zones. But before that, I need to cater these workstation people
sorry
also.
to interrupt you. So it's just a basic question. So what is the difference between core switch and other switches here?
Sir, core switch is something which is all the network, like you can say, all the network rules. That what are the different VLANs, who will be assigning the which IP pool. So all these works are usually done on the core switch. Actually, these switch are same. But usually core switch are having a higher capabilities, because they need to switching the data very fast on a very high rate. So probably a high capacity switch is used as a core switch.
The layer 3 and layer
Okay,
4.
thank you.
Because for
layer 3
rules
switch.
are defined.
Yes.
Rules are defined in the core switch for communicating with network switches.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. Okay, so
for any VLAN, we need to have a layer 3 switch, sir.
Yeah, definitely, because it is you're going to write IP table, na? Okay, so till now any issues?
There is one clarification, sir. Can you tell, suppose the person D is going to access through the switch 3 to the application server switch 1. So this is going to be a truly internal communication. This need not have any connection with the external side.
Yes.
Yeah. So when he sends a query, it goes via switch 3 through the core switch, then switch 1.
Yes.
After this, you said that the database is also holding some data. So from the application server, it will come back to switch 1. Again, it will go back to switch 2 and fetch the data.
Yes.
Is it right? Our understanding that?
Yes. Is it? It is right. Now, what I'm trying to say is that switch 1 can't access this. Okay. So this application server can access this, but these users also cannot access this. Okay. These users cannot access this.
Which users?
These users, workstation users.
Okay.
For accessing the application, they need to go to the database, this application server, and only application will talk to this. Understood? So this is a communication. Okay, let me delete all this so that. Okay. Now, just think of a scenario. If I put it in, if I say this is a single zone, and let us suppose if I say that this is also a single zone, and if I say that this is also a single zone, so these are different zones. Yes or no?
Your sketch is not reflecting that zone, whatever you are drawing there. Yeah, now it's appearing. There is a time lag here. Yeah, time lag.
So these are different zone. Let it name zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. Okay. So if I say, I'm asking you a question. Can zone 3 talk to zone 1? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Without core switch, it cannot talk. But with the core switch.
Can zone 3 talk to zone 1? Yes, because workstation also need to access the application.
Yes.
Yeah, it can talk.
Yeah, it can talk. Okay. Can, just a moment. Okay, now again question. Sorry, there is a pan issue. Okay. Now my second question is, can zone 3 talk to zone 2?
No. Your screen is gone. No. We are not able to see.
No, because every time zone 3 will go to zone 1 and zone 1 will talk to zone 2 and get back the replies, and then it provide to zone 3. Is it fine?
Yes. Yes. I'm not able to see the screen here.
I think
Can
it
you
is
please
visible.
reshare it?
It is visible.
It is visible.
It is visible.
It is visible to us.
I'm just confirming on my second laptop. It is visible, sir. Just you can try to log out and log in again, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll log off and log in again. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I have not talked anything about DMZ, MZ, LAN, WAN. Okay. I am talking about different zones into a network. Okay. And this is a separate zone. We called it as a zone 4. Can I say it as a WAN?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now coming to the definition of DMZ, you have studied DMZ yesterday. What the DMZ definition is? When you want to protect your data or your application servers directly from the internet, you are putting it onto a separate zone. So can I write it as a DMZ? Okay. So this type of zone is called a DMZ zone. Okay.
Can you repeat the last one, zone 4 once again, sir? Sorry, I couldn't understand.
Sir, zone 4 is WAN zone. Your internet, where your internet is landing. You can call it as a WAN zone.
Yes.
Okay. I will take one more example. So rest assured, I am going to give more time on this concept, because zoning in network is very important, because until and unless you do not understand the zoning in network, it's very hard to configure a firewall. Okay. So rest assured, I am going to solve queries of each and every participants. Okay. So don't worry about it. Okay. So this is a WAN zone. Any problems up to this?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So now this is a DMZ zone. Okay. DMZ, demilitarized zone. It means your user can access to this application server by having a proper network security peripheral devices on the boundary. Okay. Now, can somebody tell which zone is this? Out of these 4, which zone is this?
Public zone.
LAN zone, I can say. Because this is a local network, area network, your clients are here.
Yes.
Okay. And this zone is called militarized zone. Okay, this zone is called militarized zone. Why I have told given it as a name militarized zone? Because it is more secure than this. Because this application server is publicly visible.
Sir, your voice is cutting out.
Yeah, ma'am.
Your voice is gone.
Now I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I've talked about DMZ and MZ. Okay, now take it as a
The
new slide.
excuse me, sir. MZ is management zone or militarized zone?
Militarized zone.
Militarized.
MZ is militarized zone. Okay, now I have a simple question from you people. Which is the most secure zone in your network, MZ or DMZ?
MZ.
MZ, because it is having a least access.
It is local.
It is having a least access. And
Yes.
DMZ is actually a public access is there, because the The people who are on the internet, they can access the application websites on this DMZ zone. Is it fine?
Yes,
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 sir.
sir.
Okay. Now I am going to introduce a new
Okay,
concept to you.
Sir,
That is netting.
are you saying this application server is DMZ and others are local access zones, that is MZ?
MZ usually
That
contains DB servers, which this application need to talk to for DB. Okay, just tell me one thing, which is most precious thing for you, your DB or application?
Database.
DB, sir.
Your DB is most precious to you.
Database.
So maximum efforts you people do for DB or application? DB. Okay. This is let us take one scenario. In a single server, you can put application plus DB. And in a second scenario, you put two server, one is application and one is a DB server. Which is the more secure?
Second one.
Second one.
two different servers.
Yes, second one. Because in case this application server is being hacked, at least you have a DB server. You can restore the application. But in case if this server is hacked, all the app and DB will be gone. Understood now?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Everyone?
Sir, yes, very much.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, one question is there, please.
So please repeat once again.
Which one?
Just this slide.
Okay, I will repeat, no issues. I have said that you have two type of scenarios, okay? Okay, you have basically two type of scenarios. You have a server one, and in which you have an application and you have a database also. It means you have deployed two type of services, your application services and database services on a single machine, okay? On a single appliance, I would say. On a contrary side, you have used two different server, one for application and one for database. In the second scenario, this is the first scenario, this is the second scenario. And in case I'm asking you that which is the more secure, first scenario or second scenario? You tell me.
Second scenario, sir.
Second scenario. Why? Because we have a segregation of information. We have an application on a different side and database on a different side. So in case we have a ransomware on the application server, at least we can save our database server.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the basic concept why the zoning are required. Because now tell me in this previous network, in this previous example we have talked. Let me ask a simple question from you, that from WAN zone. Zone, okay, not I'm talking in the name, not zone 1, 2, 3 or 3, because now you people know that what are the MZ and these zones. Okay, from WAN to MZ, MZ to WAN, okay, DMZ to WAN, LAN to MZ, and LAN to DMZ. Okay, tell me, in previous scenario, is it allowed from WAN to MZ?
No. Went to MZ,
No,
not allowed.
not allowed.
No, sir.
Not allowed. Okay, DMZ to WAN?
Yes.
Allowed, sir.
Allowed.
Allowed.
Allowed. Okay.
Yes.
From LAN to MZ?
No.
Not allowed.
Not
Not
allowed.
allowed, sir.
Not allowed.
From LAN to DMZ?
Allowed.
Yes.
Yes.
Allowed, sir.
Perfect. So now you know the basic zoning functionality, and now you can create a rules in firewall. I would say that what are the different zones and what are the rules to make them allow. Now it is clear to you people?
Yes, sir.
I think now
Yes.
you have a
Yes.
better
Yes.
visibility.
Yes. Yes. It is clear.
Still,
Sir,
if any,
that LAN is actually connected. LAN is the machines, I mean zones connected using core switch, right?
yes.
So in that case, from the application server, we can talk to DB server. It's connected.
Yes. Yes.
So DB server is the militarized zone.
Yes.
And from LAN or via the switch, I can contact the militarized zone, right?
No, but it is actually blocked now by using the, when you have configured the VLANs, you have not passed that VLAN to the MZ zone.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And we configure only the application server. In that way, we set the rule. That's what you mean to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, one more main LAN will also be required. LAN to WAN.
Yes, one more rule is required. Definitely rules are required, but I am just asking on these 4 rules that is it, this is happening in the previous scenario or not? Okay.
Sir, are we going to learn how to configure this on 4.3 switch?
Yes, we are going to do it right now. We are going to see a live firewall. I have just bought for you people only.
Sir,
Yeah,
I have
under
got one
what
query,
condition?
sir.
There is one question.
Yeah.
Under what condition you will access this militarized zone MZ? Under what condition?
Who will
Here,
access?
all this combination. In this combination, we are not able to access this MZ zone. There is militarized zone.
Actually,
so under what condition? Yeah. Under what condition you will allow the MZ zone will be accessed?
Actually, in this network architecture that we have described right now, we have configured in such a way so that only DMZ can talk to MZ. Okay. Other than DMZ, nobody can talk to MZ. Because MZ is the most secure part of my organization. I am keeping is in under the layer to layer mechanism.
Okay. Got it.
Sir, one request.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, I was out of the network for 5 minutes, like. So I
Mhm.
understood till there were 4 zones. Zone
Mhm.
4 was the internet zone, and after that, could you please just explain in brief?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to show you a live firewall so that things are getting more clear to you. Okay.
Okay, just what was zone 1, 2, and 3? Means what was DMZ? Whether it was zone 1 or 2 or 3? Just
can any participant can write in chat box?
Sir, I have got one query, sir, a related one. Sir, there have been cases wherein the VLAN, since VLAN works at layer 2 of the OSI model, and there have been cases then that VLAN rules, because of the misconfiguration or because of the spoofing and other attacks, it has been compromised. So don't you recommend an internal firewall for such a architecture?
Actually, in nowadays in practical scenario, firewalls are keeping in place for all these VLANs. Even UTMs are the perfect devices. You can use them as a core switch. Okay. Ma'am, Rohitji has stated about the different zones. Na? You can check out there.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Okay, so now we will be focusing on a firewall. I have installed a firewall in my network, in my home network. And I'm going to tell you that what are the different zones and how the rules are created for a zone. Okay, so can we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay, so this is a basic interface of a firewall. I have put down in my network. This is a CyberHome firewall, and now it is discontinued actually. And CyberHome is being taken over by Sophos. Okay, so now you are not able to see some CyberHome or something. Now you are going to see this Sophos firewall. Okay, so what I'm going to do that whenever you check a firewall, you need to go to the networks and to check the interfaces. Okay. You need to go to networks and check the interfaces because every firewall has a number of ports like 4 port, 8 port. And I would say there are very costly firewalls are having 8 ports or something. Mostly normal firewall of 5-6 lakh rupees having a 5 or 6 ports usually. Okay, because number of ports will increase the complexity of a firewall, and complexity of a firewall will require a higher machine power, a higher processing power. So it will increase the cost. Okay. So in this firewall, I'm having 3 ports where port A, B, and C are defined. Okay. If you configure a firewall, there is no definition for port A as MZ, for port B is WAN, or port C is DMZ. It is all depend on us that how we are going to configure that firewall. Okay, so in this case, on port A, I have configured my LAN section. On port B, I have configured my WAN section, and on port C, I have configured my DMZ section. Okay, I have not configured any MZ section because I am not having any servers or something, but I have configured only these 3 LAN sections. Okay, now you can see that this interface is physical. Okay, one physical interface, and only 2 connections are currently up. Port A is unplugged actually, because I have just connected my Geo router with this firewall, and it is taking the IP automatically. You can see there is a DSCP. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is a DSCP, and Geo is assigning me a IP. Okay, so Geo router is assigning me a IP, and this zone name is WAN zone. And this is the IP that I have assigned, because you can see this is a static IP. So it is very much clear by looking to this configuration that the person who has configured the firewall has assigned the IP to this. Okay, so let us check what is inside the manage section. Okay, so whenever you configure a firewall, it will give you an option that on which zone you want to take it. Okay, so port C, you can put it on a LAN zone, WAN zone, or DM zone. So it is your choice, because when you create a network architecture, you can do it at your own. Okay, so this is a simple configuration where one WAN zone is there and one DM zone is there. Okay, LAN is disconnected because I have disconnected my LAN zone. So these 2 zones are currently working. So any questions
Sir, what
in
is the
this?
difference between it? Sir, what is the difference between static and DSCP?
Sir, static IP is I am going to select IP for me. Okay. And in the DSCP, the router is going to assign IP for you. Usually when you use the geo routers or some broadband connections to you, they will assign you a DSCP IP. And when you are creating an internal network, you need to create a static IP. Also, I would like to mention, in case of an internal network, if you have a very large number of computers, workstations like 4,000 to 5,000, you can put down a DSCP server, and that DSCP server will assign IP, because manual IP configuration is very hard for a long networks, for very large networks. Okay.
Okay, sir.
What is full form of DHCP?
What is full form of
DHCP?
Dynamic Host Control Protocol. Okay, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol is there, and it is a separate service. It is a separate service, and this service can be activated on a Windows machine, and this Windows machine will acting as a provider for a IP for your upcoming network clients underneath that DSCP server. Is it fine?
Downstream side, you mean to say it will provide IPs to downstream side devices?
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody is asking. Yeah, please.
Yeah, sir, actually, the static IP and public IP both are same? Or?
No. Static IP and public IP are different.
Okay.
Okay, let me talk on this thing. You know, this is a very confusing question, I think. So I need to speak a little bit on it. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Look, when we talk about IP, what is the full form of IP?
Internet protocol.
Internet protocol.
Internet protocol. Basically, it is an address. It is a address.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Just think of a scenario. This is your home. This is your home. And this is your bedroom 1. This is your bedroom 2. This is your dining, and this is your kitchen. Okay, and this is the rest area. Is it fine? And this is a study room. Now your father is standing here and asking a person here. Okay, that Ram is the name of the person. Ram, come to dining room. So where the Ram will go?
In dining room.
He will go to dining room. Okay. Is it fine or not?
Yes.
Okay. Now think of a scenario that there are a lot of dining rooms in there is a dining room in every home. So how to identify a particular dining room of a particular home? You need an address for that. If I say that this home address is 112 Alok Vihar, Delhi. Okay. If I say go to the dining of 112 Alok Vihar, Delhi, then you able to go? Yes or no?
Yes.
And if I say go to dining room, now single statement, go to dining room. You will ask, sir, what is the address of the home in which dining room is? Now understand you, this address, this is the address which is publicly exposed. This is the address which is publicly exposed. So this is, we called it as a public IP. If you send a letter from USA to this address, is it deliverable or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, but if you send a letter from USA to this address dining room, is it deliverable?
No.
No, sir.
No, because it is a localized address of a particular home.
Yeah.
Okay. Now think of a scenario. You have an organization of 1000 PC. Okay. So every PC you give a IP address. So that IP address to 1000 PC is basically a local address. I'm not talking on static or dynamic. I'm talking about public IP and local IP. Okay, so local IP is something that make you restrict to that network only. If I talking about study room, so this study room is of this home only. Okay, let us take one more example that you have a geo router at your home. Okay, and you have connected a switch to it at your home, and you connected 8 PCs to it. Okay, now Geo has assigned a public IP to you. Let us suppose 103.22.22.1. Okay, so this is a public IP. Your internet is accessible through this Geo router, which is having a public IP. But the internal 8 IPs are not public IP. They are basically your LAN IPs.
It is called, I think, private IP.
Yeah, private IP. You can say local IP, private IP, not an issue. Private IP is also same word. Private IP is there, local IP is there. So this is a difference. So if somebody wants to talk to this PC from internet, let us suppose this is your PC and you host the application on this PC. Can somebody from USA can access this on this local IP?
No.
Why? Because he is able to land to this only. He is able to land to this only, but you have not directed from this router to talk to this, to create a net rule. I am talking to a net rule, netting. Using the technology of netting, it can be done. Okay, how many people know about netting?
I know that.
Okay, and what about others?
No, sir.
Okay, so let me talk a little. Who has asked this question about public IP and local IP? Is it clear now?
Yeah, clear. Yeah. So the public IP essentially will be the static IP. Means that is talking about the dynamicity of the IP assigned by the external ISP.
Yeah, perfect. Now you got the point.
Yeah.
Okay, let me talk a little bit about netting. Then we will go to firewall part again. Okay, netting. Netting means network address translation. Okay, let me take as a scenario that this is a router and you given IP 103.2.2.9 and this is your web server and you given IP 10.1.1.3 and this is the web server 1 and your web server 2 and you given IP 10.1.1.4. Okay, now tell me, this is Mr. A with a smiling face. You want to access this web server. Okay, and there is a switch between and okay, and firewall in between. Then there is a switch and then there is a connectivity to these servers. Now Mr. A want to access the web server 1. A want to access web server 1. Is it accessible? Yes or no?
No.
No, because A know only this IP. A know only this IP and the IP of web server is different. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
what here? So
Yes.
what we can do is we can ask a pool of IP from ISP that give me 5 public IP or I can say 2 public IP for my network like 103.2.2.10 and 2.11. Okay. Now I will create a net table in my firewall where I can map 103.2.2.10 to 10.1.1.3 and 103.2.2.11 to 10.1.1.4. Okay. Now, whenever Mr. A will access the IP, this 103.2.2.11, can anybody tell which web server will be replying?
10 web server
4.
2.
Web server 2 will be replying. Okay,
Yeah.
and when this 10 is when he will trying to access this 10, which web server will be requiring?
One number. Web
One
server
number.
1, sir.
Yeah. So this is basically network address translation and why it is done so that your web server IP is not exposed to internet. This can only also be done if I put this IP directly into the server. If I put IP directly into this server, so the Mr. A can directly have access to this server and he can start the nmap and other. Just hold for a moment. आया नहीं अभी ये तो कॉल रखो आता है मैं बताता हूँ हाँ जी so what I'm telling I'm telling if I put this IP directly onto this server, do you not think so that this will expose the risk to this server?
Yes.
Because when you do the nmap, okay, when you do the nmap is a tool for reconnaissance. Nmap is a tool for reconnaissance when you are trying to find the artifacts about a server, that what is the how many ports are open and how many services are running, which operating system the server is using. So these all the things that is coming in the reconnaissance part. So what you people think? This netting will
I have
help
one
you or
question.
not? Yeah, please.
Mr. Prashant, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
See, the router you have assigned 103.2.2.9. Okay.
Yeah.
And additionally, you have taken two more addresses ending with 11 and 10 and 11. Now you have assigned to web server 1 and web server 2. And when the A wants to access 10 without going to the router 2.2.9,
no,
he
it is
cannot
going.
enter
It is going. No, it is going to the router only, sir. The traffic is
Okay.
going to the WAN only. This is the WAN only. It is not going to go directly.
But the user A is going to type this 2.2.11, no?
Yeah,
Without typing this.
it will type this, but it will land on this because the gateway for all these, all these 10,
Yeah.
11, the gateway is 9.
So he when he will enter this 103.2.9 in this example, he should enter first, then he should enter 10 or 11, right? No?
So I'm not getting your question. Can you repeat?
No. There are three addresses you have provided to, ending with 2.9, 2.10, and 2.11. So when you said to access the land on this main router, he should type this address.
Yes.
So without coming to the main router, he cannot get into this web server 1 or web server 2.
Okay. Now I got your question. You want to say that to access the 11, he need to go to 9 first.
Exactly. Yes.
So this is happening. Actually, this is only happening if he want to access 11, he going to 9 first. When you do the tracer, when you find the trace route for this particular, then you will find a router. This router is always there.
Okay.
Okay, this router is always there, and the traffic is going to this router only. But when this router traffic go inside the firewall, there is a netting table inside the firewall. Okay. And that netting table will decide that this packet is going to be sent to which server.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah.
Sir, please elaborate on this issue.
Okay.
What is the address of this Mr. A?
Okay, let me take one more slide for this. Okay. This is Mr. A. Okay.
Yeah.
And he is having a Geo connection. Geo broadband connection. Yes. Okay. Let us suppose Geo has given him IP 23.1.1.5. Okay. And this is our data center. This is our data center, which is having a BSNL connection. Okay. This BSNL has provided with a router. Okay. And we have configured a IP on FA 0/1. There are two ports basically, 0/1 and 0/2. On FA 0/1, we have configured 117.23.2.2. Okay, this is a LAN IP of BSNL. Okay, it is given by BSNL, and on this we have configured 103.2.2.2. Okay. So this is our public IP pool.
Okay. Both these IPs are public IPs.
No, this is not public IP. This is LAN IP of BSNL. Okay. On FA 0/2, and in this router they have created a static route that transfer all FA 0/1 traffic to FA 0/2. Okay. Now after this router, we have created a firewall, and in this firewall we have write a net rule that for 103.2.2.3 go to this IP 1. For 2.4 go to IP 2. So
where the firewall is situated?
After the router.
After router. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now when Mr. A on his browser type 103.2.3. Okay. Now this request will go to the main router of Geo. Okay. And Geo router will find the shortest virtual distance to this router.
Okay.
Search shortest virtual distance. Acha, now talk one thing. When one router talk to different routers, na? Okay. So maybe this is a geo router of Mr. A and this is the BSNL router of our office. So every router, when it is passed, it is called a hop. Every router, when it is called a hop. So if I say I have reached from Geo to BSNL in 6 hops, it means 6 routers came in between.
Okay.
Okay. So now when you type this IP address 102.223, so it will land to this router, from this router to this firewall, and this firewall is having a routing and a netting table, and that 2.3 is corresponding to IP1, which is having that IP1 service of web server 1, and the request is transferred to this.
Okay.
Understood that how exactly the things are happening.
Sir, does the role of DNS server come into picture over here?
No, because we are not typing any domain name na here. We are typing web, we are typing, what we are typing?
We are typing
IP
the
address,
IP,
IP
IP
address,
address.
public
Okay,
IP. Yes.
now just take this scenario as a DNS service. Okay, now take this scenario. Thank you. What's your name? Who have asked this question?
Sir, this is Brahma here, Brahma Kalyan Das.
Yeah, hi Brahma. Now let us suppose now user will type www.abc.com. Okay. Now his computer will ask to DNS server, sir, what is the IP of ABC? Now DNS will reply the IP of ABC is 103.2.2.3. Now the same thing will happen. Understood now?
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Got it? Great. So this issue is clear about the configuration part?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's move ahead. That NAT is also clear. DNS also clear. Okay.
Sir, when we will require the add route in a particular server, because many times we are using add route command in our IPCs.
Which command, sir? Sorry, I just
add route command means when we need to add the
add route.
in
Okay, add route. Now see, now I have given this statement here. No? This statement. This one. This is basically add route command. I would like, I will write in router add, actually not add, it is root IP and F is 0/1 is this 117.23.2.2, then it's subnet. Okay. Okay. To 103.2.2.2. So this is a root command, static root command. This is a static root. Okay. There are two type of routing, static routing and dynamic routing, but this is not a part of this session right now. So I'm not going to talk on that, but this is a simple static routing IP. Okay, is it clear, sir? Who has asked this question?
Yes, sir.
Root question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now come back again to this firewall. You have seen different type of zones are there. Okay, so now let me create some rules. So can we, shall we create rules? You want to see or shall we skip?
No, sir, create rules.
Yeah. Because this is the main learning. Talking theoretically and working on an appliance is totally different.
Sir, is this an extreme protection or normal?
This is a normal firewall.
Okay.
I have just bring this to make you people aware about rules and zoning.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you can see that there are different type of rules are already there. Okay. So whenever you want to write a rules, you need to first make yourself very comfortable with the different type of zones. Okay. So in this case, my internet is on which zone? Which zone?
Band.
WAN.
ISP is on WAN.
WAN. Okay. And my users are on which zone?
LAN.
LAN.
LAN. Okay.
LAN.
So
LAN
I
number.
want to create a rule. Okay. Let me type for you. Let me type in chat box, no? So that you can create a rule that block IP blocks. Okay, so there is a rule in chat box. Create a rule that block IP this from accessing from LAN to WAN. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Sir, check your chat box, sir. Okay. So now I will going to create a rule for this. So in every firewall, you have a functionality to add a rule. So let us go and add a rule. Okay, so we need to give a name. So you can give a good name for this, like IP block. Okay. Now I will select a zone. What is a source zone?
LAN.
WAN.
Okay. Now I want whole LAN. I want to block this IP for the whole LAN. So what will I select? Any IP address or a particular IP address?
Subnet. You can mention subnet.
I will select any IP address. Whoever in my LAN is there is this IP is going to be blocked for everyone. Okay. Is it fine? That's why I am using any IP address. Or if I want to block for a particular IP address. Okay. So let us modify the rule.
Sir.
Is it stuck, sir?
Yes, sir.
Not audible.
Yeah. Now I have write a different rule on chat box. Now we will create a rule that will block IP this from LAN IP this. Okay. So now I will going to select a particular LAN IP that from which the IP traffic is to be blocked. I will add a IP. Now it will showing you different type of options. Okay. Now it is showing different type of option IPv4 and IPv6. Which IP pool we are using right now? IPv4. It is also giving you an option IP network, IP range, and IP list. Okay. So if you talk about IP, you can if there is a single IP, you can put down IP here. If you have a IP range, you can put down a particular IP range here that from 12 to 25. For all the IPs, this rule will apply. Or you can type a IP list. Okay, you can add multiple IPs. Okay, you can add multiple IPs, but I am going to do this for 10.1.1.12. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to block an IP from LAN to WAN zone for host name this. Now I'm going to add the IP which need to be blocked. So for blocking the IP, we need to add an IP address. So what is our IP address which need to be blocked? Tell me. Just check the question.
10.1.2.
No, 103.222 because this is a public IP we need to block.
Okay.
Okay. So we will block this. Okay, now you are getting three options that for services, that for all type of services you want to block, or for any ICMP you want to block, any DSCP or you want to block. In case you want to just block that nobody can ping you, you can block for the ICMP. or if you want that nobody can send you the emails, you can block the IMAP and POP3. So I am doing this for any services, and also in the firewalls you will getting a time for schedule, like for all the day it is going to be blocked, or for some time it is going to be blocked. Now the important thing is that there are three options: accept, where it has gone. Yeah, now you can see there are three options are there. What is that? Accept, drop, and reject. Okay. So what is the difference between drop and reject?
Rejection sends a message to the sender.
Yes, perfect. When you drop that message, it will not create an alert, but when you reject that message, it will create an alert. Okay. So I will put a reject so that I can get an idea, and then I will save this rule. Okay, firewall rules already name exist. Okay. Okay, so when on which zone we have created the rule? Which zone we have created?
LAN to WAN.
LAN to WAN.
LAN to WAN.
LAN to WAN. Yes, LAN to WAN. No? Now you can see there is a rule IP block 2, which is creating a block between this IP and this IP. This is a LAN IP, and this is a public IP. Now this LAN IP of your network is not able to talk with this public IP. Okay. Is it fine till now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But there is still a problem, and problem will exist. Why? Because on rules there is a concept of priority works. Okay, the firewall will first take this rule, then this rule, then this rule. You are able to see move firewall rules?
Internet allow sir, accept.
Okay, are you able to see this picture, this window, move firewall rules?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So actually the thing is, the firewall will take YouTube block rule first, or internet allow rule second. So this is a priority. So if we want to block this IP, we need to make it on a top. Okay. Otherwise, this internet allow rule allow any host to any services. Okay. So if this rule prevail first, do you think this rule is of any use?
No.
If internet allow rule is there, so IP block 2 rule is of no use. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so we need to prioritize the rule. Okay. So when we are checking our firewalls in our network, in our offices, in the OT environment, we need to check that if it is any rule which is any host to any host and with any services. So it is not a good security practice. Okay. So configuring a firewall is different, but configuring a firewall with security paradigm is totally different. Okay. So in this case, you need to prioritize the thing. Any questions in this?
It means the rule which is on the top, it will have first priority over other
It is
rules
having high
defined in the
priority.
table.
Yes.
Sir,
If
we are
you
generally
can
said that
see,
we have to block everything and then allow only things which are required. So, sir, first rule will be block
yes, that
all.
No, this rule will only apply to this IP, na? This rule will only apply to this IP, 10.11.12, first rule. And the second rule will apply to all IP.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, the firewall is going to follow all the rules or only first rule?
Sir, it will going to follow all the rules, but on priority.
Subset of rule 2, no?
Yeah.
Rule 1 is subset of rule 2, no? Because
No,
in rule 2,
there is no subset. Every rule has a separate identity, but which rule you will follow first is on the, it should be on the priority.
What's the
Sir, is there any guideline for this moving this firewall rule?
Okay, let me give you a simple example. Okay, then you will check.
Sir, can I also explain what is the difference between reject and drop action?
I will tell you. Okay. Let me write a simple rule for you. Rule 1 is allow Ramesh to go. Okay. Rule 2 is don't allow Ramesh to go. Okay. Now, which is of high priority rule?
The first one.
First one. So, do you think that second rule will work? No, it will not work because
it
first
will not
rule
work.
will already allowed Ramesh to go.
Okay. Even if the rule was like this, don't allow anybody to go.
Even
Then
also this.
Ramesh. Yes.
Yeah. Don't allow anybody is there. Still Ramesh will go because it is having because it has superseded the rule.
Okay.
Understood?
So 1, 2, 3 are priorities of the rule, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 are priorities of the rule, and you can see in this when I shown you the firewall, there is no priority number is given. No? There is no priority. Whoever is on top is on priority. Okay. Like actually, my children are watching YouTube these days. So I have created a YouTube block rule for them. Okay. I have created a rule DMZ to WAN to access the internet. But on top of that, I have created a YouTube block rule that YouTube should be blocked. Because first YouTube will be blocked, then the internet will be allowed. If I put this rule first, see, if I rule this rule first, do you think YouTube will be blocked?
No.
No. And now YouTube will be blocked or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, can inside YouTube, can we block these reels?
Yes, sir. This is a share. See, in this, I have blocked YouTube. Okay, let me open YouTube. Okay, because now YouTube block is on, but the time is different. Okay, the time is different. That's why. What's your question, sir?
Sir, can inside YouTube, suppose there are reels, can we block that
definitely. You can block now. How you can do this? Let us suppose create a different rule. You want to block something. You can see this
Video
on.
streaming.
Yeah. How you can do. So these things you can block. You can block an IP address. You can block a IP host group. You can block a particular MAC host. If it is a L2 network in your environment, you can host a FQDN. FQDN means fully qualified domain name. You can add a domain name in this like facebook.com and write www.facebook.com and just block. Now Facebook is also blocked in this
Sir,
network.
what I am saying is, sir, YouTube is allowed, but in YouTube, there are reels.
No,
short
but it
reels.
is. No, it cannot be blocked because basically it is running on domain youtube.com. No?
Yes, that's what I was asking, sir.
Yeah. So
that will require layer 7 firewall, content filtering.
Yeah. That especially that NGFW, next generation firewall. So any questions in this about zoning, segmentation, about firewall rule writing and all?
Yes, sir.
So
This is regarding.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sorry. Regarding this inbound, outbound, how you are segregating it?
Inbound, outbound, yeah, definitely we can see. Okay, tell me, you are on which network? I'm in LAN.
WAN.
This users are in which network? LAN or WAN?
LAN.
LAN. So if
WAN, sir.
if I am creating a rule from LAN to WAN, this is an inbound or outbound?
Outbound.
Outbound. And when I am creating a rule from WAN to LAN, it is a inbound or outbound?
Inbound.
Inbound.
Yeah. So clear inbound outbound rules.
Yes.
Yes.
Whenever we create any, I mean, the first rule should always be any block, right?
It is not recommended,
On the
but
firewall?
any is not recommended, because when you write this, it means you are allowing any user to access any resource and any
No,
services.
I'm saying, sorry, any block. I mean, any network to any network should always be blocked unless the rules gets created.
Yeah, actually, they are two different concepts. That is a whitelisting and blacklisting. So let me talk something about whitelisting and blacklisting, because that is a very important thing to discuss. Blacklisting versus.
We have to do whitelisting nowadays.
Yeah. Nowadays, you are asked to do for the blacklisting. What the blacklisting is, this is Mr. A. Okay. And he is doing a duty of a guard. He has a list of 4 people, A, B, C, D. Whenever a person come inside, he will ask, what is your name? He say, my name is C. Sir, you are blocked. You cannot go inside. So this is a concept of blacklisting. In whitelisting, the guard will having a same list, A, B, C, D. If a person came and say, my name is X, he will check. Your name is not in the list. You cannot go inside. Only D will go, C will go, B will go, and A will go. So this is the concept of blacklisting and whitelisting. Earlier, we are adopting this blacklisting concept, but now everyone is talking about whitelisting, because this is the most safer concept. But in case of your internet environment, in your LAN environment, this whitelisting concept usually fails, because nobody knows that your user is going to access in the corporate network which website. Maybe he is going to access some income tax return, or he need to access some geological survey of India website. So usually whitelisting is applied in the OT environment, and blacklisting is usually in the IT environment. So this is the basic difference between blacklisting and whitelisting.
Sir, I
I
didn't
have one
follow
doubt.
the difference in this ABCD example. I didn't follow the difference you told.
Ma'am, in this blacklisting, these four persons are blocked to go inside a building. Okay. And this example, only these 4 ABCD are allowed to go inside the building.
I have one doubt. Is there a chance that both rule will be applied?
Definitely,
Both
you can apply
blacklisting and
both rules,
whitelisting.
because when you do the node network zoning and segment segregation, na, so both rules can be applied on a firewall. So that is not an issue, because every time when you write a rule, you have an option to opt for a whitelisting or blacklisting. Okay, when you have written a rule, now just tell me, when you have written the rule that 10.2.2.2 is allowed to talk to 103.2.2.2. This is the first rule, and second rule is block all. So this is a whitelisting or a blacklisting?
The first one is whitelisting, and the second one is blacklisting.
Actually, this whole is a whitelisting, because you are
The rule
blocking
to
all, but only allowing one.
Yes.
है ना?
Whitelisting. Yes.
This is a whitelisting concept. So actually this concept will be implemented how you are writing the rules in your network. That is more important.
No, sir.
Sir,
my
by
question
default,
is whether both rule will be applied, like blacklisting and whitelisting.
For different networks, you can write, not an issue. But for a single network, you have to opt for a single. Either it is a white or a black.
Okay.
Yeah.
sir, if I write only one rule and not the second one, then by default, what will happen to the rest of the
That
traffic?
one rule will work.
like 2.22, this first rule will work, and what about the rest? Will it allow or not allow?
Defaultly, everything is blocked in firewall until unless you allow it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes,
I
somebody.
have a question, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
we have a Wi-Fi from BSNL ILL line, and we have Sophos 2300, XG 2300. Nowadays, it is saying that your internet connection is not secured. Sir, what can be the reason for that? Previously, it was not saying that. Maybe some changes in firewall, it is saying that your internet connection is not secure. When we are connecting to ICICI.
Sir, we need to check it out, sir. We need to check it out remotely by checking the firewall, actually. We cannot tell you anything
It is due
about
to
it.
some changes in the firewall rules, no, sir?
Probably your CS certificate is not valid now. Certifying authority said CS certificate, there is a certificate, CS certificate is there. So probably it has expired.
For the firewall?
For the firewall.
For the
Firewall.
Okay. Okay.
You can check
Firewall also has a license. If it gets,
yeah.
I think, expired, then
probably that
needs to be
certificate can be the issue.
Or the date and timing of the firewall.
Yeah, that is also an issue. Yeah.
Sir, can you come again with the reject and drop concept actually?
Yeah. So this is a very simple concept. When you put a drop means it is just dropping the packet. And when you saying reject, it is also dropping the packet. But when you select reject, it is also creating an alert. But in drop, it is not creating an alert.
Hello, sir. Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, audible. You are audible.
Sir, in this example, we are using packet filter firewall.
Yes, this is a packet filter firewall.
Sir, you said alert. Alert, where can see the alerts?
Where? Just wait a minute.
When we choose reject and when we choose.
When you see the log, that log viewer, it will create a system web filter alert, because what we are using, you are web filtering it. So it will create an alert in this. This is allowed, so it will create alert blocked. So I have not created any rule, but it will be showed here. Okay.
Sir, this is physical firewall or a live service?
This is a physical firewall. CyberHome is a physical firewall. This is a physical firewall I have in my house.
Oh, sir, one more question regarding this whitelisting and blacklisting in substation like OT side. We are using only whitelisting. Why not blacklisting? We are not using that, sir.
Sir, because
that is.
Because in blacklisting you can only block a number of IPs, and number of IPs are increasing day by day. Okay. Now let me give you a scenario that on day 1, okay, you have 100 IPs to block. Okay, and on day 10 you got a advisory from CERT that these are the 10,000 IP you need to block. On day 30 some 30,000 more IPs came. Now how many IPs are there after day 31?
Every day is increasing.
40,001 IP. Okay, something like this. So every time you need to update your firewall. Also, it will increase the latency in the firewall, because for every incoming connection, your firewall is going to check the list. Is it in the list? Is it in the list? Is it in the list? So every time it is checking the list, because this list is going to be increased day by day.
Okay, sir. Exactly. Okay, I understand. But there is any limitation of this address in firewall?
Sir, actually, there is no limit of this address in the firewall. But you can see if this is continuously increasing, then definitely your latency will increase. Actually, your firewall will be getting slower and slower.
CPU usage increases.
And definitely the CPU heat will increase. Lot of the things are there.
Memory will
want
get
to ask
exhausted.
something. Saurabh ji?
Sir, yeah, I wanted to ask that the only IP communication that we have allowed is 10.222.2103.222. What if, sir, already 10.2.2.2 already has a malware or something, won't it transmit to the other side?
I've not got your question. Can you tell again?
Sir, though we have put a firewall, allowing only one communication and rest all have been blocked. One rule have been put in the example. What if the communication that we have allowed already has a malware?
It will transfer. It will
One side.
transfer.
So, sir, in that way, when the last example, when you showed that WAN is connected to DMZ and DMZ is communicating with the database side as a MZ. So if the malware is on internet side, it may go to application side, and from application side, it may again go to.
Definitely, I got your question. That's why the concept of IPS and IDS came. And inbuilt IPS and IDS are nowadays a part of firewall. You can see that if I see in my firewall, there is an inbuilt IPS is there. See IPS?
Yes.
And there is a firewall is also there. Antivirus is there. Anti-spam is there. Okay.
Sir, but most of the time those malwares keep updating. But firewall is generally not connected to the internet. So how does it recognize whether it has to interrupt this or not? A particular
But
malware.
actually, firewall is not connected to internet, so it is recommended to download the patches for the firewall and update it on the offline mode. It is recommended.
But okay.
Okay. Because you need to update
Yes,
the
sir.
firewall, because if you are not updating the signatures, then the anti-spam and anti-malware features are of no use.
But sir, after using all these protections of DMZ and MZ, a skilled hacker may somehow get through all the indirectly. It may come to the critical assets. So how do we go about that? If you could elaborate on that, sir.
Just see this slide. You will get an answer.
I got it, sir. But then at the end
Actually,
of
this
the
is a
day,
fact.
sir.
This is a fact. This is a fact. You are talking up on a very perfect thing. That's why security is not something that we rely on firewall, to be very frank. Security is something you have to take care of your end host. All of the host, all of the workstation in your network are to be scanned properly, and their network traffic is logged and monitored on a regular interval, so that in case some anomaly is detected, and you can put down some embed devices are there. I'm going to talk future on this in these coming slides, because now only 15 slides are completed and I have 52 slides.
Because sir, someone from inside might have knowledge of all the IPs,
Yeah,
all the
definitely. All these questions are there. Definitely, you have a valid questions, and I would say you will get all your answers in this program. That I would say. Okay.
Sir, we can go for anomaly detection, na, sir? UEBA and all solutions.
Yeah, UBA, source, SIEM, lot of devices are there. When we will talking about say, SOC and all, these all devices will came into picture. But this
moreover,
topic
sir,
today.
Interzone. Sir, moreover, interzone communication can be filtered, na?
Yeah, it can be done. It can be done. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so can we move forward?
When a client uses a dynamic IP, then how it will be blocked in firewall, because the IP is going to change continuously.
Yeah. But if you are accessing a website or something, then in that case, definitely it is a static IP. How it is going to be a dynamic IP? Google will provide you a dynamic or a static IP.
Static.
Static. So always we need to block a static IP. How we can block a dynamic IP?
Sir, can you demonstrate like IPS and IDS configuration in firewall?
Definitely, we are going to do that. So shall we move it?
Yes.
Can I take a 2 minutes break? I will just have a water. Hai na? Because continuous 2 hours I am speaking, my throat is getting dry. We have spent it 2 hours continuously and still I'm not feeling tired with all such wonderful, enthusiastic participants. Okay, so we have understood about demilitarized zone. So I don't need to explain this thing again because we have detailed discussion on that. This is a typical architecture of a DMZ where a public server is put behind a DMZ switch. Can you relate this DMZ switch with that switch I have drawn on the figure behind the core switch? Can you relate?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. We have already drawn an ideal DC network. Now let's go to the firewall. Okay. Which one you choose? If you want to secure your building, which one you choose? First one or second one?
Second.
Second one.
Second one.
Second one. Why? Because they are armed. That's
And
why.
they are alert also.
They are alert also. Good, good, good.
And they have seen also.
Yes. So let us define firewall. A firewall is a network security device that monitors incoming and outgoing network traffic and decides whether to allow or block.
One small question.
Yeah, please.
You talked about the physical firewall.
Yeah.
You told that your firewall is physical firewall. Is there any other kind of firewall apart from physical firewall?
Yes. It's coming after 2 or 3 slides. It is coming.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So a firewall is a network security device that will tell you and monitor what is allowed and what is not allowed. In this diagram, you can see the red that malicious traffic is not allowed in the firewall. The firewall is blocking this. Is it visible? That animation?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So this is a simple firewall. Okay. So now we will be talking about types of firewall. So basically we have a 2 type of firewall: network-based firewall and host-based firewall. Okay. What is a host-based firewall? The firewall which is inside your PC. Okay. Because every system is itself having a firewall. Okay. So this is your inbound firewall, inbuilt firewall. What we called it as a host-based firewall. What it is? Host-based firewall. Okay, so this is a host-based firewall. Are you able to see this inbound rules and outbound rules?
Yes, sir.
And these are the same rules we are able to see in that physical firewall.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, in different mode.
Yeah, in different mode, definitely. But these are the inbound rules. So system has created all these rules at his own. Okay, and this outbound rule, all these rules are created. Like I have created this particular rule for my system because I found that one malware is talking to this IP. So I have created a block rule for this system. Okay, so you can use your inbuilt firewall, which is called it as a host-based firewall, to configure the same. Now, second, we have a network-based firewall. In network-based firewall, we have a stateful firewall and we have a stateless firewall. And nowadays, there are no stateless firewall exist. Okay. After 1995, all the firewalls are stateful firewall, and the advanced feature of stateful firewall is NGFW that we called as a next generation firewall. Okay, so we will talk each and everything about it, and then we will be going to talk about the IPS, and then we will be talking about the IDS. Okay, so this is a host-based firewall where you can see you have a secure router at your home, and then you have a secure switch. Generally, these two things are combined at your home. Switch and router are on in a single device. Then you have a different computers attached, and you have a firewall that is called a host-based firewall. I have just shown you, which is on your system. And in Linux also, you have a ACLs, access control list, that can be treated as a firewall in your system. This is a host-based firewall. So a host-based firewall is a piece of firewall software that run on an individual computer or device connected to a network. These type of firewalls are a granular way to protect the individual host from viruses and malware and to control the spread of these harmful infections throughout the network. So this is a host-based firewall. Then we have a network firewall. When we have a very large network, so we required to protect it. So we required a firewall. So this is called a network firewall. So this is the internet. This all is the internet, and this is a workstation inside my network. So we need a firewall to when a firewall is put down into a network. It is called a network firewall. A network firewall is a security device used to prevent or limit illegal access to private networks by causing policies defining the only traffic allowed on the network. So when we talk about network-based firewall, there are basically two firewalls, stateful firewall and stateless firewall. Stateful firewalls are invented in year 1993, and from 1997 or forward, all the firewalls are replaced to the stateful firewall. So there is a very big difference between a stateful and stateless. Also, although stateless firewalls are not used now, but I would like to tell the basic difference between a stateless and a stateful, because this is a very big confusion. Even I have taken with my lot of experience what's the basic difference between the stateful and stateless, because now most of the books are talking, most of the resources that we are available are talking on a different paradigm about stateful and stateless. So let us talk about stateless firewall. Okay, so before this, just go to this example. Okay, is it visible to you?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, okay, if you see, this is the same example we have talked in the very initial of our session. You know, when I've talked about request and response, remember? Remember this?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in stateless firewall, for every request, you need to create an outbound rule. Okay.
Yes.
And at server side, you need to create a
Inbound rule.
Inbound rule. Okay. I'm talking about stateless firewall. So now tell me, if this server need to respond back, if this server need to respond back, it is also required a outbound rule that I have said.
Yes.
And it required a
Yes, sir.
inbound rule. Okay. So actually the thing is happening, the server, the communication between the two is not understanding the state of communication. It is not understanding the state of communication, that if there is a request, it is expected to send a request. Now let us suppose a situation, there is an outbound rule is not defined. Then do the server able to communicate and reply back?
No.
Tell me.
Yes.
No, it will not allow to. In stateless, it is not allowed. What's the issue is, in stateless, two rules are required per connection.
Please repeat this.
Yeah, actually, this is something very tricky. So I'm going to talk on this, not an issue. Okay. What I'm saying is, when request came, one rule is required as a inbound, outbound, and on other side, one rule is required as a inbound. Is it fine?
Yes.
Now, to reply back, I have said that there is a request and reply. Now, on the other side, again, one outbound rule is required and again, one inbound rule is required.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the problem with the stateless connection. They are not able to understand the state of a connection. State of the connection is when we have send a DNS query. Let us suppose when we have sent a DNS query, this A person send a DNS query to this server, who is Google. Okay. .com. Now, do you think any rule is existing in this server which is allowing this server to connect back to you? Do you think it is there? It is not there actually.
Yes,
it is not there in the remote server. It is not there in the remote server which is replying back to you that, okay, go to this server. Okay, let us suppose this IP is this. 119.18.36.73. So this server need to have this rule. Okay, allow allow 1.3.3.7 to talk 119.18.36.73. Do you think this rule is available in this? No, it is not available, because in real life scenario this is not available. In real life scenario this is not available, but in stateless communication it should be there. Otherwise this DNS reply is not able to reach to Mr. A. So what is the problem in stateless communication? Two rules are required per communication. One is the outbound rule and one is the inbound rule. And then again to reply back, there is a outbound rule from server side and one is a inbound rule from client side, which is actually not feasible. So what they have done, they have created a stateful firewall. What in the stateful firewall? As I have already said, after 1998 or 2000, all the firewalls are now stateful firewall. Whenever you send a request to this, okay, this firewall don't need an inbound rule. They don't need an inbound rule. Okay, they don't need an inbound rule. They just check the communication and reply back. If it is a TCP request, then let us suppose this is a TCP and this is a client, then this is a server. Client is sending a SYN request. So it is a state of communication. Client is sending a SYN request. The server will also send a SYNAC request. So this is a state of communication. This is maintained in stateful firewall. But if it is a stateless firewall, so this type of communication is not possible. Every time you need to allow and disallow both sides to communicate in between. Understood?
For stateless communication, every device will have inbound. Two types of. Every device will have two types of rules.
Yes.
One for inbound and other for outbound.
But that is not possible, no? Because we are accessing number of websites. In year 93, when these type of devices are increased, then internet is on very early phase. So there are very limited number of domains, maybe 1000 or 2000, and a person is using 2 or 3, 5 websites, so they can enter it into their inbound outbound rule. But in current scenario, you are having a n number of websites. Even countless websites are there. So how can you make a rule set for inbound and outbound? So that is the main difference between stateful and stateless. Stateful consider the state of connection, that this state of connection is require a reply from the server. So a dedicated outbound rule is not required. Understood?
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yes,
Sir, actually, most of the OT systems, we have a very few websites like WRLDC website from which we have to communicate. So limited number of websites are allowed. So in such cases, won't stateless would be a better alternative, because for all the other incoming, we won't be able to reply.
Definitely for OT, stateless is a wonderful, but stateless are not available in market now.
But sir,
technically it is good. Technically it is good. Definitely, technically it is good. Stateless is a wonderful option for a OT environment, but nowadays they are not available. What we can do is we can deploy a open source firewall on a separate workstation, and then we can use it as a stateless. And if you are using the whitelisting approach, so that the concept of stateless can be adopted using the whitelisting approach.
Sir, can you demonstrate?
Is it like data diode we can put?
Data diode is something different. Data diode is just allowing a traffic in one way only. That is a different thing.
Sir, this is Anil here.
Sir, but any hacker may masquerade through the IP that we have allowed, and can get access to our thing. But in stateless, until unless we specifically don't give an outbound thing,
Definitely stateless.
Nothing would happen.
Definitely it is true. Stateless are more secure than stateful. It is a fact.
Then
It is a fact.
why did
And
we go for these things? Yeah,
sir,
it might
because
require more
on a mass level, how many? What do you think in this world? What is the percentage of share between IT and OT?
Yeah, that I understand. So, but still, for us,
Technology is growing. Actually, the thing is that technology is growing, and it is our wish that which technology we are going to adopt for our solution. So, if we need to go for a stateless, definitely we can build our own firewall on an open source environment by putting it on the server and on Linux or something. So, I'm just talking about the logic. That what is the logic between a stateful and a stateless?
Okay.
Any more questions?
Sir.
Somebody is asking, I think.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a
Yes, sir.
question.
Yeah.
Means, sir, I have one question. Means in stateful firewalls, if communication is blocked, then there will no request will be exchanged, and it will not be accepted.
Yes, but if the block is not there, then the firewall will communicate at his own to complete that request. Like if I say there is a SYN request, us client send a SYN request to the firewall, then the firewall will automatically send a SYN-ACK request. And then if client again send a ACK request, then a connection will be established until and unless it is blocked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir,
Sir, is it
yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Sir, is it possible to explain this terminology with 104 communication? Is it relevant or not?
104 communication for stateful and stateless, sir, 104 is already a serialized communication. 101 is serialized communication.
Yeah, 104
So in that case, I think it is already a stateless communication. Na? We are not taking care of the other party's state. We are just sending the bits to our data historian and all. So it is already stateless.
But it is a master-slave communication, right? So there is a communication between the master and slave.
But there is a identity definition between them. There should be an authorization between the two. So it is a stateless communication because they are not replying at his own. If communication is between the client to master, then the master is only replying when it is in the list of approved IPs or something. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. One
Yes,
person is asking
Prashant.
question.
Yeah, Prashant ji, Anil here.
Yeah, hi, Anil.
I have two questions. First is that can we configure the stateful firewall nowadays firewall as a stateless? That is configurable, I think so, right?
Yeah, it is configurable.
So that is why nowadays stateless firewall is not available.
Yes.
Point number one. Now point number two is that you can correct me. One of the major reason is that the DDoS attack. Stateless firewall is more vulnerable to DDoS attack, and your firewall will be down by unnecessary, you can say, ping or unnecessary acceptance network, right?
Yes.
Is it one of the major reason? That is why stateless is now not coming, and now more intelligent,
It
you can
cannot
say.
be the major reason. It cannot be the major reason. Actually, major reason for migrating from stateless to stateful because the technology need to be fast. To be very frank, technology need to be fast. You want a high speed of internet, and for high speed of internet, you want to exchange a communication with the least amount of authenticity, because every time if you trying to search yourself in a rule, like if I tell you that in 30 days you blocked 40,000 IPs. So in that case, if it is going to increase day by day, definitely DDoS attack is a major reason. Definitely it is there. But technology growing, which includes a faster communication, speedy communication. Now I will say that SD-WAN concept is also came. You people are knowing about SD-WAN.
Yeah, right.
How many? Yeah, SD-WAN. Right. So SD-WAN is basically a concept of this, because we have entered into the stateless, and that stateless communication between the routers, when we have a control plane and a data plane. Earlier, all the router on a physical level, they have a separate control plane and a data plane, and they required a high amount of capacity to configure the data. But now in the SD-WAN, on the upper layer, we have a single control plane, and from that single control plane, we are configuring the same. So this is the technological requirement actually.
Yes, right. One more example, we can say that the managed switches and non-managed switches. Earlier, we used to have non-managed switches which are broadcasting only, right? Broadcaster only.
Hub,
That
you
is
can
one
say
of the
hub,
same
hub, hub.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah, hub only.
Yeah.
Right, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sanji, I have a question. Anjan here, sir.
Please.
Good afternoon. Sir, in control center environment, we use external and internal both kind of firewall, but there's a different make sometimes. So why so you use different make of control firewall?
Actually, I don't think that there is any guideline or any requirement to use a different makes. Even in my environment, I have a same make firewall. So I don't think there is a requirement of having a different make. But if there is a deployment from the vendor is like this, so I don't think so there is a issue.
So it will make any advantage?
No, it will not make it. No.
In many, sir,
But
many of the
advantage is
controls.
there. One advantage is there if you have a same make and same model inside your environment. So if your external firewall is exposed and if their vulnerability is disclosed, so automatically your internal firewall vulnerability is also disclosed.
Sir, I'm talking about this WBDCL or most of these utilities and power grids are asking for different make of firewall for their
That's the
control
reason
set external.
that may be the one of the reason, because if external firewall is disclosed and its vulnerabilities are disclosed, so if the same firewall is inside the network, then there is a chance that hacker can use this same technique to intrude the insider firewall. So maybe this can be the reason. That's why they have given you the guideline. But on the CA guideline, I don't think so that there is written anywhere to have a different make in CA guidelines. Is anybody from CA here?
Yes, sir, from CSAT Power, yeah, there is no such guideline.
Yeah, no, sir.
Moreover,
Yeah.
Moreover, sir, different makes increases the effort level of the adversary.
It will increase the effort level, that I am saying. What's your good name, sir? From CSAT Power? Yeah, hello, sir. Yeah, Neeraj. So that's the issue. That's why I've said there is nowhere written in this CA guideline to have a different make. Sir, from WBTCL, sir, you can check with your guidelines, sir, why they are saying. You can ask them that why you are asking them to have a different make firewall.
Sir, exactly the reason you were telling. Nowadays, they are saying to have different vendors so that if one is hacked, the other vendor
maybe, probably. I'm just saying a word probably. Probably they have thought like this. Probably they have thought like this. And we appreciate each and everyone's effort, because everybody has a different set of security feeling. Yeah. So shall we move? Yeah.
प्रशांत जी, माय क्वेश्चन इज दैट एक्चुअली सपोज हम लोग जब मार्केट में जाते हैं फायरवॉल के लिए कि फायरवॉल लेना है, तो विच बेसिक थिंग नीड टू बी हम कंसीडर, लाइक आई हैव द 100 यूजर्स इन माय एनवायरनमेंट एंड आई नीड टू प्रोटेक्ट द इंटरनेट एंड होल रेस्ट ऑफ सिक्योरिटी. सो अकॉर्डिंग 100 यूजर्स को काउंट करना है या इंटरनेट बैंडविड्थ को कंसीडर के काउंट करना है, कि क्योंकि सम टाइम उसमें डाउट होता है, तो जस्ट वो बेसिक बताएंगे क्या कर सकते हैं फायरवॉल के लिए.
बिल्कुल मैं बताता हूँ सर, आपको कोई इशू नहीं है. Just give me a minute.
Sir, one more point you can add in this. So once we bought a firewall, what is there any best practice analyzer tool that the configuration of the firewall is as per the best practice? Because see, nowadays firewall will be installed, but it is not up to the best practice. So if it is gaps are there, then we can check out what are the gaps.
What I can recommend is actually all the firewalls came into the block all mode. Okay. So all the services are defaultly blocked in the firewall, in a fresh firewall. So when you configure a firewall, so you actually allow the services. All the services are already disallowed. Okay. And definitely best practices are there. Lot of I think so government organizations are working hard to release these. POSOCO has also worked hard to create the guidelines in the fold meetings and all to have that guidelines for firewall. So what's the question asked before this? What's the question, sir?
Sir, basic
calculation of firewall. Calculation of firewall. Yeah. Calculation of firewall. Actually, the calculation of firewall is all depend upon how much throughput you required. Okay. Let me give you a solution. This is a router.
Sir, to add, how to calculate this throughput? Actually, there are vendors who are
that I'm telling you. That itself I'm telling you, sir. Okay. You have a router. And here you have a firewall. Here you have a core switch. And here you have a separate DMZ switch, MZ switch, LAN switch. In LAN, you have 100 PC. In MZ, you have a 10 server. In DFZ, you have a 20 server. Okay. Now, to calculate this, you have to understand what is the ISP bandwidth. Okay. Bandwidth. Let us suppose the bandwidth of ISP is 500 Mbps. Okay. Now, let us suppose about your core switch. Your core switch is of 2 gig, 2 Gbps. Okay. What is your core switch capacity? 2 gig means throughput. Let us understand. Let me tell you one thing. What is throughput? Throughput means the maximum data that can be handled by a server is called a throughput. If the packet start dropping at 3000 Mbps, it means the throughput of a firewall is 3 Gbps. Understood this thing? What is throughput means? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now coming back to the question, let us suppose the ISP is of 500 Mbps. Your core switch is of 2 gig. Okay. The SFP is connected. And for DMZ, you have a 20 server, and for each server, you have a bandwidth of 1 Gbps. Okay. And for MZ, you have a 10 server of 10 Mbps switch. Take it as a 1 Gbps, 100 Mbps. And in this, you have again 10 Mbps. So 2 gig, 10 Mbps into 20, 10 Mbps into 10, and 10 Mbps into 100. So this shall be your ideal bandwidth.
Sir, voice gone.
Sir, your voice is not coming.
Sir, voice is not coming.
अरे क्या हो रहा है? क्या कर रहे हो?
अब आगे
is it fine? Hello?
Yes,
Am I audible?
It's audible. Audible.
वो एक्चुअली मेरा पावर सप्लाई इशू था, सॉरी. So is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes,
sir. It is visible.
Yeah. So we have calculated. This is like my ISP bandwidth, my core switch bandwidth. Then I have a MZ, DMZ, and LAN. So this is the ideal bandwidth I required for the whole. This is the ideal bandwidth I required. Okay. So this bandwidth can be treated as a throughput. When we calculate this, let us suppose it is coming to be 20 gig. Okay, this is coming to be 20 gig. It means that your firewall should be of minimum 20 gig. Your firewall should be of minimum 20 gig. So you can ask your vendor to provide you a firewall with a 20 Gbps, 20 gig capacity. Understood? Any question in this? So it's a simple calculation, not an issue.
Number of users depend on the number of users.
I've taken 100 PC, 100 users.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you mean to say that when I purchase a firewall, I should be aware about the number of machines to be connected, even in future also?
Definitely. And also you can take around 20% of overhead.
Okay.
You can also take 20% overhead.
So number of users or number of concurrent connections per user?
No. Actually, how would you confirm the concurrent connection? Because every time concurrent connections are different. You have to place a firewall and calculate with the maximum capacity you have. Okay, just think of a situation when you select and go to the electricity connection, how you calculate a load for a connection.
Number of the devices, I mean,
number of
fans,
devices connected. Okay, let us suppose if you have a 5 ACs and each AC is approximately coming 1.5 kilowatt. So 1.5 into 5 is around 7.5 kilowatt. Plus you have a 2 kilowatt separate connection, separate load. So how much connection load you will go? You will go for 12 kilowatt. Because although this is 9.5, but you will take 2.5 as a overhead. Because in case you increase your AC to 7, then you must have an extended capacity. No?
So the firewall is having different bandwidth also. There is a firewall throughput, then IPsec VPN throughput, then threat protection throughput. What are
NGFW throughput is also there.
Yes, sir. So
because the highest is firewall throughput. I would say the highest is firewall throughput. Then we have NGF throughput. NGF throughput, when we talk about NGF and right now, then you will get a clear idea about IPS and IDS throughput. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I will cover it, no issue. So let's go
Sir,
ahead.
but internet, sir, one doubt. ISP is 500 Mbps, which is lower than the switch capacity. Why do we need because ISP will be only able to talk with the 500 Mbps capacity when simultaneously talk is going on.
The internal will also talk, na? The internal will also talk, na?
But that will go through CS, right? 2 Gbps.
No. It is going to firewall only. Actually, in physically it is showing, but in actually it is going to firewall only because where you have created the rule LAN to MZ, where?
Yeah, in firewall.
Yeah. So this traffic are all going to be firewall only, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So shall we move ahead?
Sir, Prashantji, Anupam this side, I have just one question.
Ji.
These firewalls and UTMs these days, we can actually restrict the traffic that is coming from outside the country. So can you explain like how can we do that? I mean, suppose if I want to restrict all the traffic outside India, whatever.
So there is an option of the geofencing. There is an option inside a firewall that is we called as a geofencing, and you can activate the geofencing feature. It will block all the traffic from the particular country, or you can block all the outside traffic in your environment.
So it comes by default in all the firewalls?
Yeah. Most of the firewalls having this feature nowadays.
So it is implemented in our organization also, sir.
Okay. Good.
Sir, the way to just explain this, the way Chinese government has not allowed anything to work, can you do a case study on that, sir, if possible?
Okay, I will do it. I will do it sometime after this because we are running out of time. Definitely, I will take that.
Sure, sir.
Because we have a long journey to go. We have to long journey to go for 3 months. Definitely, we will take that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so shall we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we have talked about difference between stateful and stateless firewall. So I think now you people have a better understanding about this. Now we have a next generation firewalls. Okay. So what
अच्छा
I'm
एक
going
क्वेश्चन
to
है
हाँ बताइए
सर, जैसे कि मतलब प्रॉक्सी वीपीएन यूज करके मैं अपना लोकेशन तो चेंज कर सकता हूँ। मान लीजिए मैंने जियो फेंसिंग लगा भी दी है ना, तो भी तो मतलब आप मतलब फायरवॉल उसको मतलब प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर पाएगा।
हाँ
तो उसके प्रिवेंशन के लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं?
सर उसके प्रिवेंशन के लिए जो आपका एनजीएफडब्ल्यू के अंदर एक ऑप्शंस होते हैं कुछ कि अगर वो मैस्कुरेटिंग करके आ रहा है तो डेफिनेटली वो कहीं ना कहीं तो इशू आएगा सर उसमें। वो कर सकता है ब्लॉक, ऐसी बात नहीं है। वो जियो फेंसिंग से नहीं होएगा, वो आप जो रूल सेट बनाओगे ना उससे हो जाएगा।
ओके, ठीक है।
ठीक है, तो लेट अस टॉक अबाउट नेक्स्ट जनरेशन फायरवॉल। अब these are some issues that are being observed in the firewall, in the traditional firewall. So that are being catered in the next generation firewall. What are the issues? Poor visibility into network application risk and threat, concerned about protection from latest ransomware and attacks, lack of any response or assistance when there is a threat on the network, and challenges with achieving SD-WAN technology goals, and challenging in detecting encrypted malware traffic. So this is the, I would say, the main USP of a next generation firewall. This is the main USP of a next generation firewall, where the encrypted malware traffic is also scanned. Okay, so let me talk on this because this is a very important thing. Now we have entered into we have started from where we have started. We have started from SSL, and now we are on to the TLS 1.3. What is this? These are the encryption layers. Okay, these are the encryption tiles. So what are the top critical capabilities of NGFW? They can inspect the packet which is also encrypted. They can help you in zero-day threat protection. They can help you in awareness of application, SD-WAN networking and orchestration. They have a fully integrated IPS, inbuilt antivirus, and integration with other cybersecurity products. Okay. In continuation to this, we have a deep packet inspection and intrusion prevention into the next generation firewall. See, the normal firewall is talking on layer 2, layer 3, and layer 4. In layer 2, we have a MAC. In layer 3, we have a IP, and in layer 4, we have a port. Okay, so most of the firewalls are in traditional firewalls are just taking care of from L1 to L4, but the upper layers from L5 to L7, that is a transport, application, and presentation layer, are also covered in the next generation firewalls. Okay, so deep packet inspection will help you to find out the malwares in layer 5, 6, and 7 also. Advanced threat protection, it can identify bots and advanced threats. Web protection and URL filtering, they have a good web-based malware compromised website and web download can be blocked. Then they have a better visibility over the application control. Okay, now this is very important, and I think how many people know about this thing, that encrypted traffic is also being inspected these days? How many people know this? Tell me.
Not aware.
What about others? Neeraj ji, want to say something, please? You have raised your hand. Alpesh ji.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So now the thing is that after the evolution of TLS 1.3 and even TLS 1.1, 1.2, the encrypted traffic is also being inspected by the firewall. As you can see, this is a next generation firewall, and in this next generation firewall, the packet is firstly decrypted. Okay, the packet is firstly decrypted, then it is checked in the IPS, then it is again encrypted, and then it is again sent back to the router. Okay, so they have a capability to decrypt your packet. So if you are thinking that your packet that you are sending from your home to your google.com, so probably it is already being decrypted in the firewall, in some of the NGFW firewall. of your organization. But usually they even the organization owners or network administrator do not have a access to view the contents of the firewall, because these firewall have a CA certificate. Okay, certifying authority certificate, and these CA certificate ensure that this encryption and decryption is just for the scanning of the malicious traffic inside the packet. So what is exactly is doing? The only way to guarantee visibility of encrypted traffic for a security tool is to decrypt the traffic before analyzing. Once the data is decrypted, it can be sent through your firewall, IDS, denial of service tool, or any other security application. After you inspected the decrypted traffic for malware or threats, you can re-encrypt it to maintain security. Okay, so in this way, your traffic is also encrypted. Now let me ask a simple question from you. Okay. Okay, this is a PC of Mr. A, and he is accessing a server, web server. Okay, and this is a firewall in NGFW is there. He has tried to access a page of web server. He has received a web page, username and password. He just entered the username and password and press the submit button. Now, this submit button will bring that packet to the NGFW, and that NGFW will open, check, and then again close back and send to the web server. Now tell me, is it hampering the integrity of a user? A. When we have talked about the CIA, now tell me, integrity is hampered or not?
Yes, sir.
And confidentiality is hampered or not?
Yes.
Definitely, definitely confidentiality and integrity is hampered. So, and there is also a chance that if a CA certificate is expired, web server may be not replying back to this A, because he find this communication as a malicious. It will treat it as a MITM attack, man in the middle attack, where the packet which is sent by A is opened by someone else. But the thing is that when this packet is open in NGFW, it is treated as a legitimate process, because the CA certificate is already inbuilt, and this CA certificate is also shared with this web server. This NGFW will add a CA certificate to this web server that, sir, we have received a packet from A, but we are the certifying agency to check the maliciousness. So we are sending our certificate also to send you. Someone has asked in around 10 minutes before that they are showing an error that ISP issue is there. ISP is not, service is not secure. Who is there, sir? What's the good name? Somebody has asked. So this probably the issue, because the CA certificate is expired at their end. So have you understand how the encrypted traffic is being analyzed?
Sir, I have a question here. So if it is encrypted and sent in via an encrypted form, then in the other end receiving and say google.com server, they should also have the CA certificate to decrypt, right? So you mean to say, because there will be different vendors for this NGF, NGF.
Yeah, definitely. But CA certificate is provided by the certification authority. Okay, like VeriSign is a company who is sharing that CA
certificate. CA certificate.
CA certificate is certifying authority certificate.
Is it shared with the? Okay. Is it shared with the other end also? Because they
they are shared. Otherwise, how would you ensure the proper HTTPS communication over a 443? It is not possible if you are not sharing the certificate.
As you told earlier, during communication, symmetric or asymmetric, this encryption and decryption keys are exchanged.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So when firewall opens and decrypt it and again encrypt it, so as to ensure its genuineness and authenticity, they use the same key or different keys, or how the keys are exchanged.
Okay. So let us suppose take this CA certificate as a key only. Okay, this is a key only. Let me tell you with a small example that this is a client and this is a server, and on the client end we have
Sir, your voice is not coming.
Sir, your voice has gone.
सर वापस पावर चला गया है.
हाँ नहीं आ गया, वापस आ गया. Is it visible? Is it fine now?
Yes.
It's audible.
You are audible now, sir. Please carry on, sir. Please.
Again gone, I think.
Yes, it is. Sir, your voice is not coming again. We are able to see your slides, but videos, we can see your, we cannot. Hello.
Am I audible?
Now you are audible.
Yes, very much. Yes.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Actually, there is a power cut in my area, so I'm putting on UPS. That's why.
Okay, now it's perfectly.
Yeah,
visible.
now it's fine.
Okay.
Let us talk on this. We have a client and we have a server. To establish a HTTPS communication, we have to send a SYN packet. Then we have the client, the server will send to server a SYN-ACK packet. And the client will again send a ACK packet to confirm that we have a connection done. Because this is a TCP communication and TCP is a connection oriented communication. This is not a UDP communication. Okay, UDP is a connectionless protocol. I think you have already studied about it. Okay, we are focusing on TCP. Once the communication is established, the server will share what type of encryption level he is doing. Encryption level. Let us suppose server is saying I am using TLS 1.3. Okay, so client will receive the information that TLS 1.3 encryption level is using. The client will send the certificate / key. It one and the same thing. Certificate and key to the server. Okay, and the server will again send his key and certificate for communication. Okay, these are the public keys. Now, when the real transport of data will occur, this NGFW will came into the part, and the client will send the data to NGFW and NGFW to data to the server. But NGFW will also share his certificate / certificate / key to the server that I have decrypted the data and again encrypted back and sending you the data. So this CA certificate that is provided by the VeriSign, and there are different more companies which have assigned this duty to issue. They can issue the CA certificate. So this CA certificate is shared with that server, and then server will take this transfer of data as authenticated. In case this CA certificate is expired, then your communication will not being established by the server end, because it will think that this is a MITM attack and it will not allow inside his environment. Is it fine?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's move
What
ahead.
if the data is double encrypted? Then how will it detect?
Sir, because Because when the NGFW is sending his key, so
no, if malware is double encrypted, then how will the NGFW or the server side will detect?
So they have a
in
capabilities.
fact,
They have a capabilities inside, sir. We cannot talk on that. They have capabilities.
okay,
And
sir.
again, the whole thing depend on that my very first slide, titanium box. So there is always a vulnerability in system, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So this is about firewall. Can we move ahead now?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about IDS and IPS. So what the IDS is, I think you have already studied in yesterday's class. Simply detect malicious activity, but cannot take action against it beyond alerting an administrator. So IDS, so this slide is more clear to you. Is the slide visible? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Always relate an IPS with a guard and IDS with a CCTV camera. How? Just think of a scenario. There is a building and guard is sitting outside. If some person who is looking like a thief trying to enter inside, what the guard will do? What the guard will do?
He will
He will stop him.
He will stop him.
Stop.
Okay, now think of a scenario where IDS is there, like a CCTV. In the building, you have a CCTV, and at night too, some thieves are entering inside. Can CCTV will do anything?
Detect.
It will
We will
create an
monitor only.
alert. It will create an alert, but it can't do anything at its own. And it is your luck that you are able to see that alert or not. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is a very simple analogy that I have developed. That IPS is a security guard and IDS is a CCTV camera. You have created and deployed an IDS in your environment, but at 2 o'clock, nobody is looking at the console. Then do you think it is of any meaning? Tell me. Okay. So this is a basic difference.
happened, we can,
Yeah.
after theft happened, we can check the alert and we can prevent for next time.
Definitely. It is a mechanism to protect. But at the time of moment, sometimes IDS don't work properly. Okay. Okay. So this is a basic difference between the IDS and IPS. I am not taking more of it because you have already covered, as we have told. Also, there is a very good IPS IDS that we called it as a snort. How many of you people know about snort? Anybody know about snort?
No.
Okay,
No,
so
sir.
snort is an snort is an IPS IDS combined, and snort can okay, so snort can detect malicious traffic or attacks by leveraging pattern matching. When active, snort captures packet, reassembles them, analyzes them, and determines what need to be done to the packet based on predefined rule. Snort rules are very similar to a typical firewall rule, whereby they are used to match network activity against specific patterns or signatures. Snort has a large amount of rule set created by which community that are very useful to begin with. Okay. Snort is basically having two versions, 2.x and 3.0, but currently we are using 2.0 versions. Okay. Snort has three type of rules. Now see, this is very important. This is very important. Snort has basically three type of rules. One is a community rules, then we have a registered rules, and then we have a subscription only rules. Okay, so these are the paid rules and these are the free rules. Okay, Talos is an organization which is very famous in security. and they are providing rules for the safety and security of your organization. And also they have a community rules and register rules, and also we can write our own rules. So let me tell you more about it. So this is a website of Snort, snort.org, and you can download Snort from here. And the important thing that I want to share with you is that is Snort rules. Okay, Snort rules are very important, and one can download the community rules from here also. Okay, what are community rules? Basically, lot of people are working continuously to detect the attacks and extracting the signatures of that attack and converting it into some rules, so that these rules can be implemented into the Snort environment so that they can work. Okay. So Snort is working on which environment? Snort is working on Linux. Okay. So let me show you with Snort.
This is not an appliance. It's basically a
No,
software.
this is not an appliance. It is a software. You can deploy it on anywhere. Okay, so initially, if you want to install the Snort, you can use a command install. Okay, apt install Snort. Okay, this is a simple command through which you can install your. Now it is visible, no? I think so. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So Snort can be installed. Like I have already installed the Snort in my system. So Snort is installed in my system. And what exactly Snort is doing? Just think of a scenario that you have a appliance on which you have installed the Snort. Now you want that if somebody ping you, you will get an alert. Understood what I'm trying to say? You want to set up a scenario where if somebody ping you, you will get an alert. Is it right? Is it meaningful or not? That if somebody is trying to ping you, it will make sense that he is doing the reconnaissance on you.
Yeah, but yes, sir, where will put this system? Will it be after the router we will put, or where where
Sir,
exactly?
It's not is something, and you can put. Let me tell you one thing. Okay. This is a router. Okay. Yeah. This is your firewall. This is your core switch. And this is your MZ, DMZ, and LAN. Okay. You can put Snort here also. When you put Snort, it will work it as a IPS. Okay.
Okay.
And when you put here, in parallel to this, it will work as a IDS. Okay.
Mirror the traffic and
you can where means this is a firewall and this is a core switch. So you can directly connect to this to the core switch, or you can connect it to the firewall. So basically it is between the firewall and core switch.
So we'll be mirroring the traffic that is coming from the firewall to the core switch.
Yes, what we have to do, we have to enable the port in the promiscuous mode.
Okay.
In the promiscuous mode, you need to allow it. Okay.
Right.
So we can install Snort in our PC as well, no?
Yes, this is installed in my PC only.
So no, in the previous slide, You were telling about the exact position we have to put the snot.
This
Yeah,
one?
here. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Dekho, end of the day, you have to install is not onto the network na on PC. What is the use? But for the testing and for the development purpose to creating a rule, testing the rule, you can put also in your PC. But like if I want to teach you snot, so I have to install a virtual machine, and on that virtual machine I need to install that snot na. But on the real life scenarios, this is the placement of the snot. And the best thing is this is free and it is current. It is very much updated. Like you can regularly update it.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, when we are talking about this next gen firewall and this IPS and IDS are the part of this feature, means next gen firewall feature. Am I correct? So this snot will come in that next gen firewall, or means how it will be separate? It will be
Most
separate.
of the times when you have a already next gen firewall in your organization, you do not need snot. Okay. But if you want to monitor your OT environment, then in that case, you can put down this snot on a simple machine in your OT environment, so that in case of any for the monitoring of the network, you can use snot. Actually, this is it is very important to talk about IPS and IDS on a separate way. If I talk IPS, IDS are the part of firewall, then it is of no use, because you can understand what is the work of IPS, IDS. Why I am talking you about snot? Because snot is a dedicatedly IPS, IDS.
Okay, sir. Understood. Thank you.
So snot will only give alert, right?
Snot can be treated as a IPS because it can also block. You can see na here what snot can do. Just a moment.
Sir, will we have a demonstration to set up snot on a virtual machine?
Yeah, I will be demonstrating. Yeah, I will be demonstrating. I'm just telling you some important things. Okay, let us demonstrate so that you have a better visibility to it.
Also, you were telling about the what snot can do.
Snot can do blocking also. Snot can do alert also. Actually, there is a website Snorpy.
So I have a question. If it is so easy to install the snot, it is going to detect and block the the attacks. Then why does the attacks happen? Suppose I write a program key, okay, if someone is pinging my PC, it is generating an alert and blocking that person. Then why come there are so frequent attacks and all? By what
Let me ask you a
mechanism
simple
they
question.
do that?
This class is having how much participants?
Nearly 50
Around 95.
95 participants are there. How many of you already know about snot? Actually, in cybersecurity, what I have always said in a lot of platform, I have always saying that these firewall vendors and these companies, like Cisco and all, they are just selling their products on very high values. And if you are having a good cybersecurity practitioner, you understand the concept. You can build your devices with these snot type tools, which are free of cost. So buying a firewall of 20 lakh rupees in comparison to this is a risky task, I would say. And basically the security is all about your efforts. Putting a firewall will not help you. So putting a firewall and then configuring well is a good practice. Somebody has also already said that sir, configuration of firewall is very important. Definitely firewall configuration is very important. Putting a firewall is not a solution provider. Okay.
Platform also.
Yeah, please.
Does this not be work on Windows platform or on Linux only?
No, Snort will not work on Windows. It is for Linux only.
because on OT environment in power plant we have normally a Windows platform.
But for network, you can install it on Linux, and that Linux system can be put into your network, na? Understood?
Yes.
Okay, so to understand the snort, we need to create some rules. Okay, so this is a basic syntax for creating a rule. So what I'm telling you is, what type of activities a snort can do? A snort can alert, a snort can log, a snort can pass an activity, a snort can drop, reject the packet. Okay, so let us see this first. Snort rule syntax, then we will go to Snorpy. Okay, so in this is a syntax where we will going to create a rule as we have created in firewall. This is an alert rule. Okay, what protocol it will work? It will work for ICMP. This is a source port, this is a source address, then this will direction and it will decide that for which direction this rule will work. For any destination and any destination port it is created, then it will create a message ICMP attack detected. Then it will share, you have to write a SID number, serial ID for each and every rule. So now the thing is that creating these type of rules are very hard. So what the some people have done, they have created a website Snorpy. Snorpy.this. I will share you this in the chat box so that you can. Okay, now tell me, now work with me. You want to create a rule to block the ICMP. Okay, so what will you will select? Alert, drop, reject, as drop. Tell me.
Sir, drop.
Reject.
Reject.
I wish to create an alert. I want to create an alert. If somebody ping me, I will be getting an alert.
Alert.
Okay.
Alert.
What type of traffic it is?
TCP.
ICMP.
Sorry, ICMP.
Okay. So I am going to say for any source, if from anywhere ICMP is coming, I should be alerted. Okay. And for any IP address, if my traffic is coming, it should be alerted. And then we have a SID number. Let us suppose we give SID number is 1011001. Then we have a revision number, and then we have a priority for this. So the priority we keep it as a 1, and we create an alert message ICMP packet detected. Okay. Now it will automatically create a rule for snort. Okay. Also, if you want to say that for data size which is bigger than 16-bit, so it will create where D size is greater than 16-bit. Okay, so this is the feature very much. It's a very good website. You can create such type of rules. So this is the rule I have created, that alert ICMP from any to any where message is detected. Now again go back to the. See, I am telling you on a very fast pace. This is not, because it's not itself require at least like 2 hours for installation and for the deployment. And if you people want, I can take separate class on Snort also. Okay. So let us.
Sir, then how do we set up this virtual machine and all, sir?
Sir, I can take session on this because this is a very big topic actually.
Yes, sir, but will it happen in the future classes or?
I think there it is. I think there it is. I will check now.
Yes, sir. Please.
That's 1001. The destination port is for what actually you have defined?
Destination port is where I have defined.
In that rule, 1001 is yes.
Serial this ID. Is SID. This is serial ID for role. This is like any number you can put.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
you can see. You demonstrate like?
Yeah, I am demonstrating. I want to show where the rule is written na first. Okay. So for this, you need to find first the IP address of your own system. So My IP address is 192.168.222.132. And what is my network ID name? ENS33. Okay, like in Windows, you have Ethernet 0, Ethernet 1. In Linux, we have in Ubuntu ENS33. Okay. Now I'm going to see these rules. Actually, the snort is installed it in which directory? CD in etc directory. Okay, you can see snort should be there. You see, snort. Okay, so snort is in this directory after installation. And let me go to the snort directory. Now we have two important files. One is a snort.conf and other one is in the folder rules. So the local rules is in rules folder. So this local.rules is a main file. So let me open it. Okay, so I have entered this rule that I have created using that. This is the same rule. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yeah. So I have entered this rule. Now I will start the snort. Why I have put down sudo? Actually, sudo is like when you run a program in Windows as an administrator. In the same way, to run the program as an administrator, you use command sudo in Linux. Okay. So sudo is not. This will run -q means it will run in a silent mode. Okay. -l means the logs will be logged in this folder. -i means the interface for monitoring is ENS33. -a means what type of display is required. So I'm using a console display. -c means which configuration file is required. Okay. So in this way, my snort is running. But before that, I need to copy my local IP. Can somebody write this local IP in chat box so that I can refer later on? Just write this IP in chat box because we required it later on. Great, thank you. I'll ask for a password. So now my snort is running. If no error is shown, it means snort is running. Now let me go to my Windows machine and now again ping this. You can see alerts are started coming. It is visible and it is showing from which
yes
IPs alerts are coming. Okay, let me stop this. Now it is stopped. Stopped, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Let me start again. Let me start again. It started coming. So I have stopped this snort. Let me stop the pinging. So this is the way how you can set up a snort, and these are the rules. You can take use of that snorpy to create the rules. So this is like a very basic and very wonderful tool you have into your environment to set up such important things. Okay. Okay. So am I visible?
Yes, sir.
So this is like today's end of session. Yeah. So this is today's end of session, and we have tried to cover out maximum things that you people required in your routine cyber security issues. I have tried to cover and make you people explain on a very practical way. I have tried my best to make you people have a good hands-on on the devices, and I will talk to the CBIB people to put a specific class on Snort so that I can help you in deploying Snort, installing the virtual machines, and then installation procedure and all, because this is very important. Yeah, somebody want to ask Paragji? Yes, please.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
Santosh sir.
Good afternoon, sir. It's a wonderful session today. I just want to ask, how do we increase the performance of firewall? Because after some time, after some years of experience, the performance is decreasing. Is there any method or is there any tools that we can find out how much
Actually, there is no such tool. There is no such tool, but you can review the policies you have created. Most of the times when we write a firewall rule, what we usually do, we forget the previous policies and create the new policies, make them on a higher priority to make our system working. So what you can do, you can recheck the rules and remove the old IP address that you have blocked. So in that case, you can increase the performance and decrease the latency into the system.
Right, right. Okay, thank you, sir.
Anybody else? If any questions, please tell me.
Sir, regarding this Snort, is there any dashboard kind of a thing is there? Because it may not be possible to look into the console every time, the whole time. So
actually, there is a separate folder, log folder is there. So whatever, because you have thousands of rule, okay?
Yes.
Because when because in the real life scenario you have a thousands of rule, and every time you do not required to see that, so you can check the logs regularly, and in case you have a alert situation, then you have a separate logs for the alert, so you can do that.
Okay.
But I would say it's a wonderful utility. Snort is really a wonderful utility for a cybersecurity practitioner. Even if you want to learn a lot, you can do lot of things. You can even block the firewall signatures in this Snort, which is a feature of a NGFW.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
actually in our FGC firewall, there are 4 connections.
Voice is not audible, Anilji.
Sir, what is SSL VPN tunnel address? Can you tell something about this?
Actually, sir, this is when we want to create a communication between the two parties, okay, client or server, or between the two clients, we use a technology called VPN. That is a virtual private network. And when we encrypt the data using the SSL, secure socket layer encryption, then we called it as a SSL VPN.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. It's already 3.5 hours.
Sir, please explore if it is possible to have a session on Snorpy and Snort during this course of our
Definitely,
training.
sir. I will talk to the CBIP guys, and you can also talk with them. And I will also talk
We
with
will
them.
send some requests to CBIP.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. I wish to thank Prashant sir, and point well taken, sir. We will discuss internally for the Snort application if we can have a class or in detail.
Definitely.
And if there are not any more doubts, then we can close this class today.
Sure.
Yeah.
And,
good afternoon, myself AK Singh from NTPC.
Yes, sir.
Now it has been asked to have a log of 180 days. So if you can please throw some light on this, because for firewalls, what parameters we have to look into for that?
So actually, no firewall has a capability to log a data of 180 days. You have to use a syslog server for that, sir.
So If you can please a little bit elaborate it a little bit.
Syslog servers are dedicated servers, and they have a separate machines, and your firewall will log the events and push that logs into a external server. That is called a syslog server, because if 180 days logs are being stored in a firewall, then it will create the latency into the system. So what we can do, we can put a syslog server for that, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
So
and firewall has a capacity to install the and comply with syslog.
Okay, so how can we maintain this syslog server? Where it should be, on which machine or like that?
You can have a separate dedicated machine for that, for the syslog server. That's not an issue. Your network ID, your network team will guide you. That is not a big thing. Every organization is doing that.
So can we simply use a PC for that?
PC is actually sometime, because there is a regular writing of logs into the server. So I don't recommend a PC. Go with a good server, not very high specs, but at least have a good processing capacity.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Syslog server also has to be purchased, right?
Actually, syslog is a service. Syslog is a service, but a physical server you need to purchase. Okay, so shall we close the session?
Okay, Prashant sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everyone for such a patience listening and lot of good questions. It will also definitely enhance my skills and my knowledge also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashant sir, for having this wonderful session on network.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thanks
sir.
to everyone. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.